Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. For the most intriguing wrestling stories and info on independent shows in multiple regions, nobody does it like We Talk Wrestling. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk podcast. Join the entire crew every Tuesday at 7 p.m. as they bring their takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and news on the #1 fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Visit them at facebook.com/WrestleTalkPodcast and at WrestleTalkCast on YouTube and X.
All of us here show appreciation and love to our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation as well as protect and serve us every day. Thank you for all you do.
Get ready for episode number 192 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, as we welcome one of the successful true underdogs out of the Midwest, hitting his opponents with various wrestling styles and soaring above them all. The Dragonfly, Chris Exodus.
Welcome to the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. The show starts in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go!
Welcome to the show. Buckle up tight. Rough cut Rick will be in the spotlight. Shell sitting mouth fans breaking it down. Best wrestlers podcast in this town. Blood and sweat in every word. Echoes of the ring, haven't you heard? Wrestling tales, raw and true. Podcast alive, bringing it to you.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome here yet to another great edition of our show. That's just simply put because we're the greatest on Sunday nights, bro. That's just what we do, right? Absolutely. Party lights are now. We're moving on. You can throw your parties if you want. Were you playing them? Uh-oh. Are you muted, brother? Or is it me?
No, I was muted.
Sorry.
The lights were going. Things were going crazy. I'm trying to share out the show. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We had to shut the guest up in the green room to get this party started even, and I'm pumped for it because this is exactly what I want. I felt the positivity from the beginning in the green room. We've had some slip-ups to get here, but it's here, and I'm excited for this one.
It's okay. It's all right. Oh, shoot. Yeah. So what's going on, everybody? Of course, yet another Sunday night, the first Sunday of May. Happy. And, of course...
No, say it right. Say it right. It is May 4th, and for everyone out there, may the 4th be with you.
There's one Falls Count Everywhere host that does not like that. So
You know what? He can go play with his Trekkie toys and all that stuff. Why I get the little force powers. I get to pull lightsabers to me and whatnot. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Look at this. We are banging tonight.
Yeah, we're banging.
Right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate with Facebook, of course.
Maybe we shouldn't.
With our Sunday Night Shenanigans. I'm Rough Cut Rick Ruby, along with the Gems Team Mouse and Zmiz. We are excited to bring yet another great episode here to you. Tonight is episode number 192 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. And there's some people who are like really excited.
Hello, Mr. Herb, Tyler Cooley, John, Johnny B, that dirty Aston Cage. Alan's here. I had a good night with Alan last night. We had on a sour note. I got to say this real quick on a sour note. It sucks sometimes when you drive in to a show and it just happens to be an outdoor gig and the pavilion's soaked and you get word that it's been canceled. But unfortunately for IEW, I think it was the best thing. Like, we had a camaraderie, birthday celebration for the Guido because of it. Like it was needed for the little break. Tensions might be high in places. It was good to enjoy. It was worth it. It was worth the drive. And plus, I got to hang out with my boys all day. Like literally my boys, my sons yesterday. So it was me and my boys. We went toy hunting, all that kind of stuff. It was a good old time. I did pick up finally. I got the title right. Little superstar.
Oh, you got
Ted DiBiase. Oh yeah, look, is it great?
Isn't the green suit like hard to get? Or what?
Oh yeah, bro! I found it at V-Stock at the Mid Rivers Mall.
That is sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Little treasure hunts, man. You got to find the treasures, and gotta love Ted. So Ted's gonna join.
Because I was thinking that the green one is like the hardest to get.
Yeah, because you can only find the black one usually, if not mistaken. And that's one of the superstars, one of the superstar runs. So
and I don't know if they did anything with a silver one when he first came in.
I don't know. I don't know, but I love it. I love everything about it.
Some more toy research for you to do, sir.
I'll do it. But besides that, how was the news at your event Saturday?
Man, let me tell you. Well, first off, man,
that title, by the way, that title.
Oh, okay. I'm getting to that story. Okay,
keep going. I'm just saying. I'm getting ahead because I'm pumped. Remember, I'm hyped.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was hyped too, man. A good part of yesterday was all hyped, and then since last night after my match, and then trying to carry throughout today with everything I had to do on the outside here, yeah, it's been kind of dragging and kind of a little downward because. Last night, Cedar Hill, Missouri did turn out for ACW by like 160, 165. Not as much as our Thanksgiving show because that's a big festival. And, like literally it did rain starting like during the mid-morning and all through the entire late night. We're talking like 1 o'clock a.m. the next day. So it rained a lot. Probably some people just didn't want to get outside in this rain. And sometimes it was heavy. And it was cold too. Like, mid-50s cold, and I'm sitting here in shorts and a shirt, and I'm like trying to load a ring last night, and it's like really, really cold.
At least you didn't have to bust a sweat too bad. Like see, once again, I'm the bad guy. I like cold weather. So yesterday for me, it was like spring. Like it was right where it was supposed to be. It was washing away all that bad juju and just kind of releasing. That's how I feel about it.
You didn't have to haul a ring, so I don't want to hear it.
No, we had to put it back away. We were putting it away for a little
bit. Oh, okay. So you did take it. Okay.
I touched some things.
There's a sound bite. I'm gonna find a way. No, but getting to me and Bubba Walsh, we have not officially named ourselves the team name of Rough Country. And we'll get into that here in just a bit.
Rough Country?
Rough Country, because, he's
I kind of dig that, bro. That's nice, actually. That rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, well, you thought you were laughing earlier. I pulled out a new little item to my entrance arsenal here. Because you've seen how I come out before, in the neon glow shades. Well, Bubba comes up with a cowboy hat. And it was like, well, I need to find a piece to kind of intertwine us between the two since he's not officially on the Lifetime Express. So I went out and I grabbed a green cowboy hat with my entrance last night.
Oh my God.
And it is lined with neon lime green and it glows. I'll have to send you a photo, but I was wearing a glow cowboy hat and glasses last night. For the first time in my career, I came out in a cowboy hat.
That's amazing. I don't know if I'm going to pull GQ for a minute. I don't know if that's going to be more amazing.
He was wearing one too.
I don't know if that's going to be more amazing or the pictures of you as a cartoon character in the rock and roll the gimmick.
We should, honestly, if he's
I love that thing, dude.
If he's mad enough to let us use that photo and then put it beside me as Rock and Roll Rick Ruben, let's see which one gets the more cheers and thumbs up and thumbs down.
Let's do it.
Let's bring that to the Fan Fest.
Let's do it.
Do it.
I'm down with it. So we're putting the rough cut and then the Rock and Roll
Rock
together,
and Roll Rick Ruby, and then
having a fan vote at the Fan Fest. Which one was
Fest.
which
But
photo?
I don't know if you'll want us to do the QFC because
Yes,
he may win though.
QFC.
People may like that more than me. I mean, that'd be more of a hit.
Oh, I love it.
Alan Williams, if you're listening, kind of remaster that photo. We need to touch it up here a little bit. And it was either that or him as Boss Hogg. I mean, which one of the two?
Both are great. I'm trying to tag Chris in this post, and it's not letting me.
Yes. Yeah, so real quick, we did have a title match versus Ego Trip last night. And, well, I thought I had the match in hand. We did. I happened to dodge a kendo stick shot where Xavier Frost hit Guy Smith. We knocked Xavier out of the ring. I was able to hit my big leg drop of doom, and I got the cover. But apparently, the referee that counted was a second ref coming in because I did smash the first ref in the corner because he was in the way because Guy Smith reversed me as I was whipping him into the corner. So I avalanched the referee. And then he comes in and smashes me. So then the referee gets double smashed and he drops to the ground. So apparently he was down the entire time. And so even though the second referee came in, it was a legitimate 1-2-3 cover. I had the tag team championships in my hand for about a minute, bro. And then that referee that got smashed was mad at me and freaking disqualified me, saying it was my fault running into him.
That's BS.
And so they stripped the titles. So
That's
now it's
BS.
Yeah. So instead of it being a review, it's just a final decision of the referee who was knocked out for like about 2 minutes, didn't see a darn thing that happened. So whatever, you know.
I did receive that photo.
It's on its way. Oh my God. That's too funny. Hey, you could put that in the certain GTA chat too. That'd be kind of funny for everybody to see. So so I'm man enough to do that. So no, I'm telling you what, it wasn't. I had it won, but it had it stripped. But you know what? I am kind of disappointed because those are nice new tag team championships, and I would have liked to warn them. But
Okay.
I think it's not the end of rough country. Trust me, we're gonna be getting.
Bro, I'm firmly vibing with that name 100%. Like, I'm in with that. I'm
Rough
down
Country.
with Rough Country.
Yeah, there you go.
That Searcher, he got double smashed. The ref got screwed. Like, get stronger
Yeah.
refs.
I don't know. It's our referee's decision is final. I guess no matter what you do. So, hey, but you know what? You know what I'm still excited about? Can you believe? It is officially 12 days away if you're counting the Friday night with Bill Apter coming on, but it's approaching close.
Pumped.
Yep. So I actually saw last night at the show was Frank Murphy, senior from Classic St. Louis Wrestling Programs that we advertise our shows with. And of course, he was our top guest last year, if you remember right.
Yep.
So when I talked with him, and Herb was actually at Cedar Hill last night, kind of pushing the Fan Fest. Man, I'll tell you what, big time announcement last week as, yes, the father of the Usos, the man himself, the bad man himself, Rikishi, is going to be at Fan Fest 3 in 13 days. So,
Dude, that blew my mind seeing that. I still want to know. I didn't get home in time to watch it. The 8 o'clock, there was a big news that dropped 8 o'clock this evening that was being pushed around today from the SICW about the Fan Fest. So if Herb's still here, if he can drop that real quick, maybe I might be able to find it too. But that has me peaked interest-wise.
yeah, like I said, they're pulling last-minute surprises where people were not. I mean, not to mention the most recent announcements here. Like I said, Devon Dudley, Miss Jacqueline, Jackie Moore, Matt Riddle is coming in.
Bro.
You know, a lot of big names that are coming in. And we're going to be, we're psyched about this because this is probably going to be our most exciting show we've ever done. ever.
Yeah, I'm so stoked. Like, you have no idea how pumped I am about this. Not only am I going to be there with some of my favorite bros, but then my wife's coming down with me to see it and do it, and we're going to be able to watch the show that night. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
So Dory Funk Jr. is making his way down.
That's amazing.
So another one added to the Fan Fest. So Dory Funk Jr. Dory Funk Jr. was definitely his face was seen a lot around in St. Louis in the 70s and toward the end of basically the whole wrestling at the Chase era. So that is fantastic for Dory Funk Jr. to be coming down and being part of FanFest 3.
Yeah, 100%. Heck yeah.
I mean, if you're in the history, I mean that's what we're at. So
yeah,
yeah.
Dory has a lot of history there. Didn't him and like Harley Race have a couple bangers through that time too?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah. So I mean, like I said, we are officially going to be starting our simulcast at 11 a.m. on Saturday, May 17th. Doors are going to open at 9 a.m. Okay. So apparently this is Dory Funk Jr.'s last trip to St. Louis. So if you want to see Dory Funk Jr. in person around here, FanFest 3 is your last opportunity, apparently. And I don't blame the guy. You know, the guy has done a lot. I mean, for these legends to be traveling around late in their ages, I mean, it's just incredible. So
yeah, we should be eating it up, man. It's
yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah, so definitely a legend. Dory Funk Jr., you know, synonymous with the NWA. And Funk and Briscoe back in St. Louis, because remember, Gerald Briscoe, of course, will be there too. Or should just say Jerry Briscoe?
Yeah,
I don't know. When I say Gerald, I'm always thinking about the butt-kissing corporate Mr. McMahon, Gerald Briscoe. That's what I think of. I'm sorry.
Now that I've gone back and watched him like in his wrestling heydays and stuff, and got all that information, I don't know. I appreciate the Stooges so much more. I guess I don't know. Like, I just loved everything. Like, they just had fun with it. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Oh man, yeah. So Johnny B's gonna be making his way down too, right? It looks like, yeah.
Johnny, you coming to the Fan Fest? You gonna see us? Awesome.
Really so?
That's awesome, my dude.
Yeah, because he won't be able. Him and everybody else will not be able to miss us, because we should be right around the entry point of going into the main hall to see all the legends. And the only reason why we're doing that is because we're going to be doing our simulcast, and of course we're going to be doing. We've got a sound system and everything else that's going to project out into the hall, and of course inside the Fan Fest, they're having something else that requires other separate audio and everything else. So one of the Stooges, yes. Oh God, I love the Stooges and that form of the corporation.
Dude,
I just loved it.
One of the best things about FanFest, before we get on to our main topic tonight with our main guest, but the first year of the FanFest, do you remember me? Like, we're sitting there talking, having a good time, and then old Briscoe just comes over, and I didn't know what to do, bro. I legitimately did not know what to do. He asks me a question, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I got to just say it. Like, I'm marking out right now over one of my favorite comedic, like, he's one of my favorite comedic wrestlers, okay? I know comedy and wrestling has, like, this taboo-ish thing, but the stuff that him and Pat were doing during the Attitude Era, the whole evening gown dress match, like, all that stuff was, like, stupid fun, and it was beautiful. And then when you go back and watch his history, and that's the great thing about these Fan Fests, is you get to see both sides of this kind of coin thing, right? You get to pay homage to the history, pay homage to what they did for St. Louis during the the Coliseum and all that stuff, and doing all that. But then we get to talk about the fun that we had when we were sitting in our living rooms watching on Raw or WWE or what. Even back when you were a kid, Ruby, you were just a little tyke with all the energy in the world, and you get to watch them. And I love it. I can't wait. I marked out. It was so much fun to meet him, and you guys are all wrong if you don't come to St. Louis to meet these great legends.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But all your information can be found at sicw.org. Once again, sicw.org is where you're going to find all your information regarding the Fan Fest. As far as that includes the Q&A with Bill Apter, with that session that's going to be on Friday night, which I believe is the only event that's going to be on the Fan Fest, dedicating that to Bill Apter and his show for that night. And of course, everything on Saturday, the Fan Fest, everything's starting off. And then, of course, when the Fan Fest, the Open Fan Fest is shut down, then, of course, you'll have the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And then, of course, there will be a wrestling card that we've actually talked about last week. So with others that are going to be in there. So big event, guys. You're missing out. Like I said, once in a lifetime opportunities, and it's not going to cost you a down payment on a house just to go for like 2 nights of an event. So,
the Bill Apter show is $25, people.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys go waste that in a bar or something, but you're getting to watch history be made and talk about history and learn about history of a great industry that doesn't always get the love it deserves, and it's been here recently getting real love. But now we get to go watch one of the working class companies, what wrestling was built on, bring all the legends together and some new faces, and enjoy this great Q&A session with Bill Apter. Once again, you're all wrong if you're not coming to St. Louis. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. And if you're a wrestling historian, you'd be a fool not to come to this. So. Me and Z will be there, so I'm not worried. So, you're going to miss out on great. If you like sit-down interviews, you like podcasts, like you're listening or watching us, it's going to be 100 times better than this, at least. So, yeah. So, we're hyped about it. So, Oh, okay. My kid is making cat noises. Okay.
No, it's not. It's my kid. It's literally my cat.
Oh. Dude, this thing is so off. Oh, my God. No. Oh. God.
Yeah, it's my cat. My cat's down here meowing. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. He is.
God, you got me thinking I'm hallucinating. Jesus Christ. Good gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh. It's not my ears are like pinging and hearing just about everything else around me, and apparently over your side too. So, I've done so much shine out the ref, which, by the way, referee, I don't know. I'm still upset about last night. I about half lost my voice over it, so it's all right. So, how about this? You think it's about just time to bring our guest on for the night?
Oh, 100%. I'm ready.
He's been very patient and very anxiously waiting to come on. So, which we do greatly appreciate. Our guest here of the evening, who worked hard to start a promotion even at a very young age, and even though, built it up basically from the ground to make it actually a reputable promotion around the St. Louis area today, for those who are just young and ambitious to get into the business. And so he's with us here this evening. And, of course, now he's breached waters into other major promotion, territorial promotions as well. So without further ado, let's give a nice warm welcome to the Dragonfly, Chris Exodus, everybody. Can I talk with a spit? Go.
And as you can see, he's the Jackson County champion for no-fold professional wrestling. So that's a pretty cool title.
Wow. Is that, I'm sorry, is that a QR code on the belt?
No, so it's actually the outline of Jackson County, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's really cool. I thought it was the QR code too.
That's their logo.
I'm not going to lie.
Nice.
If somebody out there made a true internet title, it should have a QR code that has like a backstory, like right in the middle of the QR code, and a backstory on who the champion is. Just saying.
You know what? You need to patent that right now. HWA steals that.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
I'm joking. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for having me, by the way. I'm super excited to be here, dude. Wound is probably the better word.
Dude, I know. I was scared this afternoon.
Dude, I had to kick my dog out of the room because I was so, like, fired up. She wouldn't, like, chill out. So I was like, all right, dude, you got to go for a while, dog. Go hang out with grandma or something. So, yeah.
Now, well, Chris was part of the crew yesterday at IEW that got, apparently, you guys had you were prepared and get set ready for action. Then freaking Mother Nature said, nope.
Oh,
yeah, and I still don't even know who I was supposed to fight against. That's the thing. I was so excited. Bummed.
Well,
Like, I'm not going to lie. It put a damper on my whole weekend. I tried to, like, no-sell it. I was like, oh, you know what? I posted on Facebook, bummer. And I swear to God, dude, I didn't know what to do. Like, I asked my roommate, I was like, hey, what do normal people do on Saturdays? Because I am... Dude, it hit me. I haven't had like a Saturday off since like March of last year. Like, I have no idea what to do. So
that's awesome.
Dude. So I hung out with a buddy who also just so happened to not get to go to the show yesterday. and we hung out for a while and played some video games, and then it kept downpouring, so like we couldn't go anywhere really and do anything, but we caught a movie. And yeah, it was just like a really cool day, man. But bummer, super bummer. So like,
dude,
I've got all this energy, I have nothing to do with it.
Dude, try pulling up to the venue, and there's nothing set up, and you haven't checked your phone because I'm one of those people like you. You're terrible about answering your phone, like horrible about it. I'm one of those people too, mainly when I'm driving.
Dude.
So we stopped at Mid Rivers. To get the bathroom break and go toy hunting, right? And so kids and I are walking around. We get it back in the car. We're going. It's raining like stupid hard.
Yeah.
We pull up to the pavilion, and like pieces of the ring are just sitting out. I'm like, it's 3:30. There's no effing way we are building this ring in a matter of like 2 hours.
Dude, so I let my mom use my car yesterday, and she gets home, and I'm standing under, because my porch has this little pavilion thing under it, and I'm standing on the porch applauding, because my mom and I have this joke that, like, she is horribly late. Like, more, you think I'm horribly late to stuff. You've not met my mother, or my father, really. My father's gotten better about it with his old age, but my mom, woo, me and her are the same, dude. We're so late to everything. So she pulled up right at 2 o'clock on the dot. I was like, all right, Mom. And then as soon as, like, we grabbed our bags, I checked the chat. And I was like, oh, well, thanks for coming and like rushing for nothing, because now I don't have to go nowhere. Like,
well, I pulled up and they're like, did you not read the chat? I'm like, I'm not in the chat. I'm just in the one chat. And Alan's like, I sent you the message directly. So I pull my phone up and I'm like, there's nothing there. I hit the messenger, and then all of a sudden Alan's text message kicks in. I'm like, oh, hey, did you guys know the show's canceled?
And there you are, just happy as a gopher, ready to go, dude.
Oh, dude, it was fun. It was needed. Like I said, I'm all about things happen for a reason.
Tyler Cooley. I feel so bad for Tyler Cooley. Dude, he sent a picture in the chat at like noon. He and I don't know who else had like unloaded the entire ring. They're like, hey guys, made setup easier for you guys. We're so excited for today. And then he tries to be nice. He's like he's doing the paying your dues gimmick, and then nope. Thanks for the effort, pal. Welcome to the business, kiddo. Oh man, I feel so bad for him, dude. I felt bad.
But that's the great thing about wrestling. That's the great thing about, like, I was talking about the other day, being the journeyman. I said this to you in the chat, in our message today, that I truly believe that we could consider you one of the journeymen from your start and how you got into the business and how you helped build a company from ground up, your baby, your heart blood. We all hear the letters. Everybody hears them. CHWA, CHWA. Tell us a little bit. I'm just going to start off with the first real question, okay?
Sure, yeah.
Tell us a little bit on how that all started and why you truly got into the business, and how did you get the passion for the business to even start your own company? Loaded question.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I'm just gonna be really honest. So Cottage Hills is there's really nothing here. There's nothing. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, now there's a few businesses, like just now, like within like the last year or so, there's like a few little things to do. Like, there's like a putt, or it's not a putt place. It's like, I'm not real privy with golf, but it's like a big screen, I guess, and you smack a golf ball and it pretends to fly. I don't know, dude.
Oh, you
It's
talking about
some
indoor
golf.
golf?
The
Yeah.
indoor simulators,
I'm
yeah.
not like trying to make fun of it. I just don't. Dude, I don't understand it. My dad would be in here like, "Come on, son!" Like, he's a pro golfer. Like, they would. This is what my dad did before he was a wrestling commentator. He was like legit. He was gonna go to like my dad was like a professional golf player in college.
That's
That's what he
sick.
went to college to do. So yeah, he would be in here. Dude, he would chastise me. Right? He was so mad right now that I would not know this thing. But no. All joking aside, like, there's a few things here now, but there's really nothing here. So like, here I am at like 14 or 15, really 13, but probably 14 or 15 for real, like bouncing around between like I'd been in a few bands, like skateboarding is still like I follow it now. Like, I just watched Nija win Street League. Like, I still watch skateboarding stuff. I just don't do it as much now because the only time I'm hitting the ground, I'm hoping to get paid for it now, you know. But like, no, but I still skate every so often. Like, I have a rail and like a ramp in my basement, dude. Like, I love skating. So I loved all these things, man. But finally, like, I just started wrestling, like with Lucas, with Elride, and like with a couple of my other buddies, just for fun. Like, trampolines, with like we'd find an old mattress somewhere and like just body slam each other on it. Like, we'd build these stupid little enclosures inside of like an old bedroom or something in like one of the houses, and would just go at it, dude. Like, we loved it. And so I'm not gonna lie to you, like, this is a very every I feel like a lot of people say this, and like, it's cliche as hell, but like, to be honest, dude, like, it wasn't supposed to be what it is now. Like, that was never like in our heads. Like, we just thought this was like a cool thing to do in high school, and then somehow we'd graduate high school and just be in the WWE. Right? We had no clue how wrestling worked because we're kids. So like, we're having the time of our lives, and then like, man, we just had fun. Like, it was really just like something to do. And so then we had this really cool setup at this house where we had like this trampoline, and we were cool just taking bumps on the ground because, when you're 15, you can just splat the ground and hop up and be like, like, it's fine. So we were wrestling on the ground, and like, we had this trampoline we'd jump off of and do flips and stuff, and we'd set up like makeshift tables. And so like, the neighborhood started to gather, and they were like, this was awesome. It was every Wednesday night. Tony Khan stole our gimmick. I'm joking. But like, no, it was every Wednesday. It was awesome. And then like, this would spread through school. Like, people would be like, hey, this Christian dude, like, you see his forehead? Because I'd like have these gnarly, like, I'd be from blood and like whatever, and like, they'd be like, this dude gets beat up every Wednesday. We should go check this out. And so people would start coming to hang out and just see what it was. And so it became something to do, man. And like, the longer we kind of progressed through it, like, me and Lucas got really serious, and like, we really wanted to be like wrestlers. And so we went to I think it was like St. Louis Anarchy, and we asked, I think, the hooligans, uh uh like, how do we do this? Like, we want to wrestle. Like, we're backyard wrestlers. What do we do? And so they directed us to Dynamo, man, and we trained at Dynamo for a while. And shout out to Dynamo, like, they're CHWA's like sister company at this point. Like, we do a lot of business together, and um, I'd like to call them a partner. I feel like there's no, it's independent wrestling, so there's not a lot of paperwork, but like, we work together a lot. And but back then, none of it. Again, me and Lucas, not understanding anything about wrestling, we're like, hey, we know how to wrestle, and we're tired of doing this everybody else's way. We're just gonna go do it our way, which was not popular back in the day, but like, at the same time, I say it all the time, like, if you want to be different, sometimes you pay the price of popularity. People are gonna, like, they're not gonna understand you. In high school, I painted my nails, I wore skinny jeans and all black shirts. Seems like a lot has changed, right? It wasn't necessarily a phase, Mom, but no, like I had long hair. It was like I was different. Like I was very different, especially where I'm at, because you're either like there's two kinds of people around here. I'm not kidding, and everybody that's from Cottage Hills in this chat right now can tell you you're either gangster or you're country. You're not emo. You're not like God. No, you're none of that. But I was, and so like I understood at a young age. I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna do whatever I want. If people like it, great. If they don't, great. My goal is never to stomp on other people. It's just to be who I am in a free zone to do whatever I want, because dude, I don't believe in like I'm not knocking religion. I don't believe in any of that. So I think I got one go around on this planet. That's in my head, right? So I'm gonna have fun, and like that was kind of how I was as a teenager, a lot more reckless. And so we made a lot of mistakes. We cursed a lot of people out. Me cursed a lot of people out. Did a lot of stupid stuff. And fast forward like 11 years almost later, and now we're partnered with the same company that we left, and CHWA has really become a home for a lot of people. And it's definitely not the same thing it was 5 years ago. And I'm just going to say this right now off the rip, because Zmiz, you've been watching our stuff for a long time, and Mr. Ruby, you and I have been good friends for a long time. I love you both, so I feel like I can be honest right now. I hear that comment a lot, that CHWA is not what it used to be, right? Well, let me just real quickly. It's not, because I've learned in the last year of my life, especially because of my therapy, everything, whether it's you as a person, your business, video games, the film industry, Walmart, Dollar General, everything with time changes, and it evolves to different stages of its life. And there are growing pains, and there's things you got to go through. When we first started running the like KC Hall venues like we're doing now, right? We had no idea what we were doing. We're used to weekly setups. We're used to booking weekly stuff, and it was a nightmare. But now it's a pretty well-oiled machine, and it's become a home for new people who really want to work hard and make a name for themselves, and they don't necessarily have to conform to a lot of the other, I'm going to call, strangleholds of wrestling. They can come to CHWA, and we're pretty notorious for, oh, here's your paintbrush. Have fun. And we're obviously now we've got Sadie and a lot of guys on the roster that are overseeing it to make sure everyone is most importantly safe, but that they're getting to be what they want to be, and they're getting to do what they want to do. And the product is different now. We have sponsors that are like really close with us. We've got people that come to this show religiously. So it's not as underground as it used to feel. There's not as much blood and grit necessarily all the time, but that's because CHWA's audience has changed, and not only has the audience changed, but just the entire business of wrestling has changed. And if I'm sorry, but if at this point I haven't explained it thoroughly enough, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to get the info from somewhere else, because I feel like I've given a thorough enough rundown here that I've talked in like paragraphs. So I'm gonna shut up so one of you guys can say something now. But yeah, that's to answer your question. Long-winded.
I'll be honest real quick before Ruby goes with whatever he has for you, but that's one of the things that draws me to you, is your ability to keep evolving and growing. And the Christian that I met at an RCW show was not afraid to say, no, I'm not wrong. This Christian we see today has the cojones to look himself in the mirror and everybody else now and go, okay, I mean, I wasn't wrong, but I didn't do it the right way. And I respect the shit out of you for that, brother.
Real quick before Ruby goes, I actually is John Boy watching this? Is John B?
I think he's still here.
I think he still is. Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. CM Punk, who's very controversial to some, has this saying, right, that the apology must be as loud and as public as the disrespect, right? So John, like, there was a scenario I found out about recently where John could have really, really lied on me, on my name, and really went with an old version of me that doesn't exist because it's convenient to paint that. And I found out John, who we've had a number of issues, as everybody publicly has known over the years, not only didn't lie on my name, he told the truth, and it was a scenario where he could have profited and gained off of my loss. And if he was an enemy, right, like, then he would not do such a thing. He would just take advantage of the situation. So I'm saying it right here in a public setting. The next time I see John, I intend to give him a genuine handshake and a thank you. And I also will be having a private conversation with him. I'm not going to say everything I'm going to say to him because I want it to be between him and I. But yeah, shout out John Boy, because he's a real one for that, dude. Like, that really
100%,
a lot of my respect, dude.
110%. That is one of the guys too in our roster at IEW that I think has grown leaps and bounds, matured so much, and I'm so pleasured to work with him and get the privilege to try to create something different in a world where everything's been done before.
Yeah, and he's a great dad. I could go on for hours here, man. So
we noticed.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man, talk early.
No, man, no, it's all good. But so one thing that I'll touch on here is because, and I can't remember which year it was. It could have been maybe 19. I don't know. Was it 19? Maybe, I don't know. I know it had to been for about 6 or 7 years back, if I'm remembering right. But I mean, first time I met Chris was actually at a show for RCW or Rampage Championship Wrestling, and a lot of the guys from CHWA were there, and at the time I was like, because I mean, I'm used to use like maybe one new face that comes around and kind of wonder who they are, but then there was like about like a group of them. I'm like, wow, okay, this is a little different because I never see these guys before, and I was like, okay, you know, but mad props to the guys, to that group that came in and actually talked with and shook everybody's hand and was nothing but professional whenever they came in. So I guess with us leading up to that, because you're building up CHWA, right? I mean, literally, we could tell people, and I'm sure there's probably footage out there that you literally guys were in a backyard.
Yeah, we'll never delete it. A lot of people think we should, but I don't think we should. That's why we also never changed the name. Why? Why would we? I'm proud of that.
Right. Because I mean, it really is a story of how you guys really started from that, but then you guys continue to work. You guys continue to see how you guys could grow, and then eventually getting a ring. Granted, I mean, it was kind of small. I mean, because I kind of looking like, man, what if I get in that ring? What would happen? And I'm like, I might bust it. I ain't gonna lie.
That ring went through a lot of stuff, but we still have it. We still have it, and it still works, dude. That ring has been through like 11 years. We got our money's worth out of that thing, man. 100%.
You're gonna have to put 2x12s across that, and then also like 2 wraparound cables underneath if you want to be in that ring.
We had to.
Ruby thick.
At one point we had Jake Prater and Ben Gray on our active roster.
That's a good point. Mr. Prater is a thick man himself.
I've been pile drove by him. You ain't got to tell me. Man.
In this business, you do not make mistakes.
Well, yeah, because I'm saying all this is because
Herb is the man, dude.
I want to work with this man so bad it's not funny.
Man, Herb.
I want to learn from him.
You know, that's another. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, man. We'll probably talk about Herb here a little bit later, but the thing is that when you guys came into this locker room, man, the bones that was given to me that night was Crow, and I think his first match, and I kind of,
is that where you split his shorts? Is that where you split his shorts? Right? Is that that one?
Hey,
when you fought Crow.
Hey, you learn from your mistakes.
Dude, I remember. So we all stream Friday nights on Zmiz's Canceled Gaming at 10 p.m. where it's very inappropriate. It's for adults, 110%. But Crow was actually talking about that, about how him and Ruby had a match and he body slammed Crow and split his shorts. and had some giblets hanging out.
The CHWA locker rooms heard that story a time or two. Man, it's a great story. It's so funny. It's so funny.
But that was just the first start of you guys, you know. So I'm kind of wondering, what was your game plan going in to try to get maybe into other promotions, you know, as a group? Like, I mean, was that your intent? And then, how did that progress on to, you know, eventually you became on, and you were part of the RCW roster, and then you guys finding other ways to branch out. So how was that game plan developed with you guys trying to get into to a bigger promotion to try and make it even bigger, trying to make you guys uh, making your stake in the territory of the Midwest as CHWA being a promotion to look at.
I mean, a lot of it was Frank. Like Frank just had this idea. Like he was talking to, I believe, and I don't know what he's wrestling as right now because the dude's had a few similar names in the ring. So I'm just gonna call him Markel because that's what I know him as. That's what I've always called him.
Yeah.
Or Isaiah the Enforcer is the other one that CHWA.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. So he was talking to Frank for a while. Frank came to one of the shows at the old Batters Up building we were wrestling at. We were doing a lot of crazy stuff there. Like that was when we had like a 16-foot ring that we were renting from. I think the deal was WOE would store it at our building, and we would not charge them to store it there because we would use it. And that was kind of like a worked out deal between us at the time. And so then he came out to a show, watched it. He had like Izzy Blackwell and a couple other people with him. And after the show, we all just kind of had a conversation. And Frank was like, "You guys should come out to the next show. Maybe we'll do like a thing before the show where we'll like get you guys in the ring with some of our guys, like figure some stuff out, you know. And we'll try to like get you guys like to figure out how to do this." And I was like, all right, you know, like I'm not gonna lie, I can finally tell this story publicly, which is cool. I have a shirt downstairs in one of my old like kid box things, and it's an RCW shirt from like 2005 or 6, and it's got like tons of autographs on it. It's got like Sage Ramsey's autograph on it, Wicked, Jeremy Lightfoot, Beast, like a whole bunch of people. So I knew Frank. I already knew who he was because like I remembered that as a kid. And so
that's cool.
Yeah, dude, full circle moment for like little me for sure. And so like we went out to that Litchfield show where Ruby's talking about, and dude, that was kind of it. We didn't really have a plan like to all go to a company necessarily at the same time. Kind of the idea has always been that and this has always been like a weird thing. It's a little different now. It's not weird, but it's like different now. Back then in those days, the thought was if just one of us could get on a show somewhere, we all won, right? Like a CHWA guy, like we did it. Like CHWA, we did it, right? So once we got to RCW, we worked there for a little bit. Couple guys like Frank would use on and off, obviously. He put me and Lucas with Randon and whatnot. That was fun. I won a couple cruiserweight titles.
Damn, I wish I had the shirt right now with the kids.
Dude, I have the shirt somewhere in an old gear bag. I have like 3 gear bags that are just full of like my old outfits and stuff. So like I have it. So I have 2 of them actually. One was my ring one, and one was the one for outside the ring and whatnot. And but yeah, so like he started doing that. Well, then that inevitably led, obviously, Ruby, you'll know for sure, and Zmiz, I'm sure you know too. Like you're in a locker room full of guys who wrestle. So this leads to, hey, does anybody wrestle outside of here? Like, and then that turns into, oh, you wrestle at, you know, WPW, or you wrestle for WOE, or you wrestle for PWE, or you wrestle down the road at like Pinfall, like all the places at the time, right? I'm trying to think like all the places that were going at the time. And so that just leads to networking, and the more you network, it's kind of like eventually CHWA became like a thing. Everybody just started trying it because like, why not try it? Like if I'm there and one of the guys reaches out to the company, the promoter, and says, hey, I work for CHWA, I work with Christian, and the promoter and I have been doing business together, they would typically bring a CHWA guy. They'd roll the dice because it worked with me. So let's roll the dice on another guy. And it would just kind of happen. Like people, we never really, it's a funny question because honestly, we never had a plan. Like it was just, we wanted to do shows and just exist. And whatever else happened was cool. Like we just wanted to exist and be there. So it's like everything else has been a bonus. So yeah, dude, there was really no plan other than just, hey, if one of us makes it to a promotion, we all got to win. And now like everyone from that generation for the most part is still wrestling. And like a lot of those guys that aren't wrestling anymore still keep up with everything. It's great. It's awesome. It really is like a cool era, dude.
Absolutely. I mean, because think of a lot of the guys that started with you and where they're at, and where they're working. Like for one, um, first off, of course, well, one name that comes to mind is Tommy Davis, who
Yeah.
is, you know,
Just
honestly a really
tearing it
incredible
up.
talent. You know,
I've been saying for years he's the best pound for pound wrestler in St. Louis. I mean, I argue it. I don't know anybody that wrestles better than him. And I still say, and there's tons of names we could use. Tons. And everybody's opinion is valid. But, dude, my money is on Tommy Davis. It has been for years.
yeah, you got time. And then also when we look at the female side, we can't forget Ashlyn Alexander, who's
Yep.
who you recently just had a really good match with.
Very
on the-
emotional.
And then
match.
don't forget that even his little sidekick, his brother in arms,
Of course.
the one that's been by his side forever, just recently made his first trip over to the OVW world, like you guys have been doing.
Had 2 matches.
So that's killer. Like the growth that's coming.
Hey, also can't forget Maddie Monarch, who's like wrestling on like, well, I know she's like rehabbing an injury.
Yeah,
obviously, but like
yeah,
she's been
yeah.
on. I mean, she's been all over the country, dude. Like,
she was gonna be my next one, but you beat me to it.
yeah, I mean, dude, I can just, and the thing is, I could keep going. Like, I all the time. Like, there's so many guys. Like, if you look at like right now, like a lot of the IEW roster, it
Yeah.
looks like a certain time era almost for CHWA. It's awesome, and that's one of the reasons I love being there. Is like I not only get to see about, I'd say 50 to 60% of like all my like old homies that like businesses didn't work out. It is what it is. And like on either end, like it's fine. Like we've all come to peace with all that, but now we're all together again. Like we're all together again. We're friends. Like, and it's like it repaired my relationship with Jody Ultra. Like him and I, like we were not cool. And then going to IEW, like having a couple conversations. One of my best dudes now.
That's one of my dudes.
I love him.
I'm a
And
big
he's-
Jody fan.
And he's one you could accredit to like really, really changing over the last year. Like he's asking all the right questions. He's in fantastic shape. He's trying everything he can. He's asking all the guys in the locker room who have experience questions. Like, dude, he's grinding. Like, and he's working a lot of places right now. Like he normally works 2-3 weekends out of the month. Like, not bad. Like that's pretty consistent. Like, there's so many guys on the IEW roster, man, that I'm grateful to be back around. And, I'm trying my hardest to earn their trust back because obviously with some of them, I burned the bridge being angry and being childish. And I've went up to each of them that I've done that to. And I've tried to shake their hand and apologize and show them that I'm not that angry kid anymore, that I'm a lot different. And it's been awesome, man. They've allowed me to be a lot different. And it's just been, IEW's great. I don't care what anybody says. It's one of my favorite places to be at, man. I was really bummed yesterday the show got canceled. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can just say that there's literally only a handful of people that came out of CHWA that did not branch off
yeah,
to doing something different. I mean, literally. I mean, and I can think of those names that have either decided to step away from the business or they just,
sure.
or
We-
maybe
we
they
gotta
didn't
watch
decide to
even-
I
branch
miss
off.
a lot of them.
We got to even watch Jake Prater jump away from CHWA, go to SICW,
Damn.
join up with Attila Khan, go under that learning tree and that bridge and you saw his work ethic change, his ideology behind it. He's still, I love Prater. I will always love Prater, but he's still Prater. Hard-headed Prater. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. So he's back doing his
I
own
talk
thing
to that
again.
dude all the time. I feel that.
It's one of my favorite dudes. I remember we were at so I'm just a wrestling junkie. We've come to terms with this. Like eat, sleep, breathe wrestling, and I want to just talk wrestling. I want to learn about wrestling. I want to sit next to the best promoters in this business, because that's my personal flavor of wrestling and why I like to be it. I'm not looking to get beat up or beat anyone up. I'm not here for titles. I want to make you guys a soundtrack that allows to show the growth and the story behind everything we've done from day one. Because I think people in wrestling forget the journey. All we think about is Austin, Hogan, but we don't remember like the parts in between, right? How did we get Austin? How did we get there? That's one of the great things about you. You chose to take a questionable, potentially, you and Maddie, for the most part, with your god dang, what's the word I'm looking for? Moniker. Okay, you chose the Dragonfly as another stepping stone in building the story of Chris Exodus. Yeah, we've had conversations about it, because I've sent you some things, because you and I are more alike than you may want to give it credit for, or I may want to give it credit for.
We're a lot alike. It's just our outer like the way we like outwardly function is different, but a lot of our thought processes is similar.
Yeah, I'm a bubbly bitch,
dude. No, it's you just have a lot more like outward, like the way you are, and I'm like that too, especially at shows. But like I'm also like I'm a super bad overthinker, and the way my overthinking works is like I'm analyzing rooms and situations. Like it's kind of weird. So like I take a minute before I can get like outward, like so. But we're pretty much the same.
I catch it.
No,
yeah. Sorry, I got distracted.
I do it all the time.
Well, okay, so that's the great thing. You chose a moniker called the Dragonfly. Now, there is deep symbolical stuff with the Dragonfly, the evolution, the growth, and all that kind of stuff. Tell us what it meant to embody that and carry that into the next phase of your career, because I think it's a beautiful thing. As somebody, and I'm going to say it right here, I've said it before, I'll say it again. 2 months ago, I didn't show up to an IEW show. I had a massive, massive panic attack. Massive. I myself am a borderline personality holder. So I have those same issues, the blowing up, the aggression that comes out of nowhere, the feelings of emotion that go, I mean, people don't understand. People do not understand the borderline person and the difference between certain things. Our emotions.
You love wrestling so much.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. My emotions, and I know you feel it, go boom, boom, boom. But
they're on 10 all the time.
There is no, like, there is.
It does this, but it's tens, dude. It's not like, we're sitting at
square
4s and 5s. It's tens, dude. Yeah.
It's crazy. But the moniker, that blows my mind, and the growth. Tell us what you're going through when you picked that, and then how that helped your healing journey through the wrestling world, because that's a great story right there.
So, all right. So I had a hernia surgery, right? And I'm almost 30 now. Like, I'm not making an old joke, but like you guys can attest, and like any athlete in almost every sport can attest. Like, dude, I've been falling on the ground since I was like 14. Like I'm turning 29 on the 15th, so it's not long from now. And there's just certain things that my body doesn't want to do anymore. Like especially after, my lung, I've had my neck has been injured before. I've had this hernia surgery. Like this is not fun. Like I have to find a way to stop getting hurt all the time, because my style of let's jump off ladders and balconies, and I'm done with this. I don't care that I'm 5'4". I don't care that I'm 150 pounds. I don't care. Like I'm not doing the flip stuff anymore. Like I'm done. And so I really had this moment where I was sitting here and I was talking to my grandma before she passed, and I was like trying to really figure out what I wanted to do with wrestling, because I was really taking a hard look. Like, all right, dude, I've had a lot of injuries, and like I don't want to become the guy that like there's a fan that comes to CHWA all the time. His name's Daryl. He's one of my favorite people that exist on this planet Earth. He always brings his son. I don't want him to lean over to his son and be like, you should have seen this guy 10 years ago. I don't want to be that guy. I really don't want to be that guy. So I need to change something now, or I just need to stop wrestling and just be content not wrestling. And so there was like that thought. Well, then I just realized that was not going to happen. There was never going to be, dude, you're going to have to legitimately pull out some kind of firearm and kill me probably to stop me from wrestling. And I know that that's not good, but it's just how I am. And so I realized that I'm going to have to try to find a way to wrestle different. And I started really taking kickboxing seriously again. Lucas can tell you, my mom can tell you, in high school, I didn't think I could be a pro wrestler. I was way too little. I was a great amateur wrestler. So my senior year, I had a neighbor that lived literally right next door to me who was at the time I think he was the welterweight champion for Shamrock FC, which is Ken Shamrock or Frank. It's either Frank or Ken Shamrock's fighting promotion. That's over in St. Louis.
Yep.
So his specialty was jiu-jitsu, but he also did Muay Thai. Well, I'm small, so we started with jiu-jitsu, and I'm also a wrestler. Well, this led to me wanting to learn striking because most big dudes want to grab me. Most dudes with reach want to grab me, and when we go to the ground, that's great, but when we're in the clinch, I don't know what to do, and I'm getting my face caved in. So I started learning Muay Thai, and I kept training. He moved, I found a different gym to go to, and I've just been training on and off for years. And I realized that's what makes me different. That's one of the things that make me stand out, is that most pro wrestlers, at least around us, they might train in certain disciplines and not talk about it, but they don't show it in the ring with their character. So I'm just going to be that guy. I'm going to start making my wrestling matches a fight. I'm not wrestling anymore. We're fighting. That means I'm not jumping off the top rope. I'm not coming off a ladder. I'm going to ball my fist up and I'm going to punch you. And if I can't do that, I'll kick you in the inside of your leg and then I'll drag and screw your leg. And if I can't do that, I'll find a way to put you in a knee bar. And if you pick me up and slam me 15 times, that's cool, because on the 16th one, I'll figure out how to put you in a flying triangle choke and I'll elbow you in the face until you pass out. I will not conform my style any longer to what everyone else thinks I need to do at 5'4" and 150 pounds. And I'm going to be the weapon that I know that I am in real life and in the ring, and I'm going to start kicking people's faces in. And I decided that was the mission. So I told my grandma that's what I was going to do. I told my sister that's what I was going to do. And most importantly, I told me that's what I was going to do. And I knew I was talking to me because I was wearing my own pants. And so that's what we did. And here we are. I've got the Jackson County title, which operates under the pure wrestling rules because I'm the best pure wrestler in the state of Illinois. And on top of that, I also have made quite the forge over the last year. And so I've just decided my nickname is the Dragonfly, because the Dragonfly represents change. And it's not a change of me taking over anything. I don't want to take over anything. I don't want to monopolize anything. I like wrestling. I love wrestling. So I just want to wrestle everywhere. I don't want to monopolize things. I don't want to take things over. I just want to change who I am, and I want to change for the better every day. Because 2 years ago, when I quit drinking on December 26th of 2022, I decided I was going to be a better person, right? Well, that encompasses being honest with myself and keeping myself accountable, and that also encompasses changing every single day. I have to wake up every day and try to be better than the last day, and my borderline personality sometimes doesn't make that easy because I'm extra critical on myself. Dilly, my friend, one of my best friends, Dilly, he can tell you, Lucas can tell you, my mom can tell you. I'll sit in this room right here at this desk, I will cry because I'll feel like I have not got anything accomplished today. And my mom will start running down a checklist of all this stuff that I've done. And Dilly will run down a checklist of my week. And I've done more things than most people can think to do just because of wrestling. And here I am assaulting myself mentally because I feel like I need to do more. And it's just, I hate to say it, but it's become this thing where I can't stop. I literally can't stop. You can ask Brandon Espinoza. I bother him in the car every Thursday for 8+ hours, and it doesn't stop. I ask questions about the TV camera, referees, commentators. I want to know about the production of the show. I want to know, how do sound bits happen? How does the promo play when there's guys standing in the ring on the Tron? Are there people really standing there? Like, dude, I need to know everything, and it doesn't stop. When I get 3 to 4 hours of sleep because I can't stop. And that's why my nickname is the Dragonfly, because one day I'm not going to be able to wrestle, right? I understand that. I'm not going to be able, my body is going to stop. I've wrestled a very aggressive style for a long time. I'm probably not going to wrestle very long into my 40s. If I'm lucky, I'll have it till my 40s, and then I'm going to really slow down, dude. Like, I'm not going to have a choice, which means I'm going to be a really good commentator or a really good referee or a really good agent or producer. I want to be in wrestling until my heart stops, so I have to keep evolving forever. And there's even like the argument of like today's style versus 5 years ago versus 10 years ago versus 25 years ago. Dude, I love all the styles, and there's things about today's style that I can't stand, and there's things about the 80s wrestling that I watch that I can't stand. It's wrestling. It evolves. If you don't evolve with it, you're stuck. You're stuck, and you're going to be in one place forever, and I'm not doing that anymore. So, not to preach, but that's just where the nickname came from.
No, I love it because I understand it as, once again, as a BPD person myself, I get it. And you came up to me, what show was it? It was one of your first shows back at IEW, or coming to IEW for the first time, actually. I was stoked that you were, because I've never had an issue with you, never had a problem with you. You, Lucas, Tommy Davis, you boys, to me, have been like, in a weird way, little brothers. And we never were close. Like, that's how I felt about you guys. Like, you were like three little stoogey brothers that I just loved seeing. And it was always a blast to see. And then you're like, I thought you hated me. I'm like, no, bro. I don't hate nobody.
I had a pretty poor exit from RCW, and I can own that. I had a poor exit. I made a lot of people mad. I said a lot of shit in a group of stuff in a group chat that I shouldn't have said.
You good. But no,
voice messages that
even
were
my
long.
enemy. Even my enemy, I don't dislike. I've come to the terms, because I'm one of those people that control everything or want to control everything. I think that's why I like booking so much and like storytelling and stuff, is because the control behind it. And then the helping others navigate and figure out, like, because I want to see your story come to life. I'm just trying to add to it, like my thoughts to it. I don't give a crap about what it is.
That's starting to happen for me too, because of CHWA, like big time. Like seeing like Quest, Ant, Jalen, Felice, getting to see the guys in the Empires of Pain, getting to see like guys like Dion and 5-Star and IP Mason. Like, dude, I can keep going. Like, there's so many guys that I watched, like, because of our partnership with Dynamo and the graciousness of my trainer, the man, Sadie Blaze. Like, I've got to see a lot of these dudes start, and now they are stars, man. They're stars. They're killing it. And like these kids are working hard. They're going to training 3-4 nights a week. Like, dude, I am so grateful to get to see them like doing their thing. And like Lucas said it in the comments earlier, me and him still very much have the mentality, if one CHWA or like Dynamo guy makes it somewhere cool, we all feel like we made it. Like, that's still kind of a thing for us. Like, it's not like a screw everybody else mentality. We just, man, it's a really cool group of people, dude. I really encourage anybody that can come check out the dojo and just be part of it, dude. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Go ahead, Ruby. We've hijacked the show from.
No. You're good, man. You're good.
Ruby's gonna pile drive me.
No, this is why he brought me in. This is why he brought me in. This man, I want to say, I know we're here about positivity, and all of us, and Ruby included, has all had bad shakes within the wrestling world. People we've had issues, people we've come to verbal spouts with, all that kind of stuff. And there's room for healing for all of it. There's room for growth for all of it. Everybody can change. Not one person is bad. Not one person is good. That's how I feel about it. We can all work together in some form or fashion. And there's ways to do it. But if it wasn't for this man right here, because Frank's the guy that got me started. I remember sitting there and doing commentary with Frank, and him and I bouncing stuff off of back each other, and him like, I like that. That was good. I mean, I love doing commentary with Guido. Don't get me wrong. Guido and I be on fire 9 times out of 10. But if it wasn't for this man right here above me, because I'm going to pat you on the back, because this man doesn't get the respect and love that he deserves sometimes, and I'm going to be that person to pat it. I would never have found my voice in this business. I would never have found the cojones to send text messages that I've sent to get people on the show to do whatever it may do. And that right there hits me hard. And that's how I feel about you, with how you feel about IEW, CHW, Dynamo Pro, Ignite, not Ignite, God dang it, No Fold.
There you go.
Sorry. I had to pick up my boy Sid Holland on the road last night because he got in a deer accident.
Oh, that's not good.
This is why I say everything matters. Everything happens for a reason, right? Sid and I have a long story together. A long story. A group of guys that didn't like me, that liked him, and then all kinds of stuff, right? He wanted me to go to Ignite yesterday. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm going to IEW. Like, I should go. I had some issues. I want to go. This is what I want to do. I love these guys, Alan, all those guys down there. So I was going there. So we didn't talk about it. We did a thing, and I'm driving back, right? I could have left. I could not have made it to the show because we were canceled. I could have left getting canceled. I chose to go to Alan's house, hang out. It's like 12 o'clock. We finally go home. I'm driving down the road, right? And I see a blue car, an orange Wrestling for the Cure shirt. And I'm like, Sid just got pulled over. I snap his ass. I'm like, were you speeding, Leadfoot? Like, making fun of him. He's like, no, bro. I hit a deer. My car is fudged.
Oh, that's so
like,
not
shit,
good.
Dude. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making fun of you. He's like, no, that's what friends do.
Oh, dude, he's okay, right? Like, he's good, right?
Yeah, he's fine. He seemed good this morning, but so like I saw him out in the back showing like belts or something, or I don't know what he's doing. I thought he was showing the belts to the cop trying to get out of the ticket.
Hey, look, full sake of transparency, Freddie Funkhauser got us out of a ticket today because of his wrestling bag in my car. So, like they didn't believe that we were wrestlers. Like I was telling them, like, yeah, our show got canceled. He ended up just staying at my house. Like, I'm taking him home. I got to go get blood work done. I got this Missouri license thing, and like, dude, they didn't buy it. And then they were like, well, what's the red suitcase in the bag? And we're like, that's his referee attire. Like, that's his. And they're like, you have a suitcase for a referee? And then they opened it. And then there's his boots and his ref stuff and there's a little bow tie gimmick, and sure as heck, dude, they were like, well, all right, that checks out. And I'm like, I told you. I tried to tell you.
But that's what I mean. It's everything happens for a reason, and that's why I think it's cool that we're having this moment, because you have had so much healing growth and stuff, and it's mind-boggling. So Ruby, you continue. I wanted to tell that little story, I guess. And
No, it's okay. And I totally just forgot to put the proper mode of my microphone on. So
you sound good this whole fucking bunch of time.
You've sounded great this whole time.
Oh, it sound like an echo, like, hello, I'm Johnny Cat.
There we go.
Oh,
you hurt
the man in green, Rick Ruby. Everybody.
Which, by the way, today, happy heavenly birthday to Frank Reed.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, man!
Yes, happy birthday.
And they'll be having a memorial show for him on May 24th in Litchfield with RCW.
Hey, also, man, go over real quick if you guys have time, the watchers, the viewers. By the way, viewers today, thumping it. Facebook, where have you been? You're blowing Twitter out tonight, guys. Holy shiznits.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Up today, boy.
But go over to RCW's page when you get a chance, guys, because all the memorial videos, I'll be getting Rand. I told Randon I was going to get it to him, and I just keep forgetting. I'll be honest. I'm terrible at promos.
I'm trying to get one to him. I've got to get one to him. I've got to get one to Luke Roberts. Man, I'm running behind schedule too, man. I still got to film a promo for No Fold. Yeah. I got a lot going on, man. I feel you.
So, yeah, go over there and watch those videos, those memorial videos where people are talking about Frank Root on his birthday and stuff. That's an awesome thing.
I really like Jeremy Lightfoot's a lot.
I haven't got to watch all of them yet, so he's one of my watch.
I got to see his. I got to see. I'm not gonna lie, dude. This is bad, but I can't remember his name right now because it literally said like he used to go by, and then it said his wrestling name, and then I watched Chris Riot's Wars, and it was all three of them were really, really good. It was a good insight too for Lightfoot, because a lot of people don't really know a lot of the history between him and Frank. That runs deep, dude. That runs deep. Like, so yeah, Frank's the man, dude. He gave a lot of people their first shot. Shout out to Frank. Happy birthday, man. I miss that guy.
Including this guy just over 29 years ago. So
yeah,
2018.
Me too. Yeah. I was right around 2018 or 19.
When I made fun of. This is going to be funny. I'm going to tell the story, even though I have issues. But we were here in Quincy. we were at the the mall, and I don't know if you guys were on the show that one, but
No.
Doug was in the ring wrestling, and I made a comment about him being maybe out of breath, and I broke him. By the way, I was a fan in the crowd, and this happened. So next thing I know, intermission happens, and the second show is about to happen. And Frank comes up to me and goes, "All right, Zmiz, we're gonna do it. You have We Talk Wrestling. You promoted us when you guys came in. That first show, you guys killed it here in Quincy. I drove all the way from Davenport, Iowa, back home just to be at that first show, RCW, here in Quincy, Illinois, because I wanted to promote wrestling. I was pumped that we had wrestling back in Quincy.
That's so
cool. So yeah, Frank comes up to me and goes, "Zmiz, I'm going to put you on the mic with me, and we're gonna talk commentary and all that kind of stuff." And I'm like,
nerve-wracking, huh?
Really? What are you talking about, dude? I came here just to be a fan today. Like, I know we've talked about me actually entering the business, but like today I'm just a fan. I brought my kid, but no, it did. It happened.
Oh, you're working today, pal. Get your gear.
And now look at me, years later. So
I absolutely know how that goes, dude. There's been a lot of times. Exodus, you got your gear? I guess.
Yeah, dude. I love that I can run my mouth, and that goes out to a teacher, actually, from high school. I had a high school teacher that made me take speech class. And I'm like, I don't want to, I have no desire to talk in front of people. And now, all I do is run my mouth.
Kind of like your whole gimmick now.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like Rowdy Piper, dude.
Ooh, one of the best.
Yeah, the Gem City mouth.
Yeah. Because I had to pay homage to one of my hero managers. So I am. There's no.
Mouth of South.
I won't lie. Jimmy the Mouth of South is one of my favorite managers of all time. Just his annoyanceness, and like you want to see him get punched, or like you wanted to see the guy, because depending on how he was playing his character, right? That's one of the guys that just
one of the goats.
Yeah, you can't. And then getting into the business and learning the backstory about some of the stuff, and like how the man doesn't fear putting a ring up or picking chairs up, putting stuff. Still to this day, like the man is well in his 18th birthday again. It's
That's
still
a good way to say that.
Like, it's amazing. So yeah, I had to pay homage to one of my favorites, one of the people that I grew up idolizing.
It's part of the reason. It's part of the reason the Dragonfly exists too, because Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the American Dragon Bryan Danielson are like in my top two.
Ooh, good ways to add that together.
Yeah, it kind of hit me after I'd named myself that, like, oh wow, that's kind of cool, like, because Dragon's Guild, like, I'd never really put that together like that, like I'm doing this thing and those two are my favorite wrestlers, like, but I've never, like, I didn't do it on purpose. The Dragonfly was a little more like, okay, I'm going through this change, that's a good way. Oh, this also is cool. And so yeah.
That's sick. Okay. Let's step back now. Let's step back to little Christian. You know, not so mouthy, not so. Arrogant.
No. I'll go get my mom right now. No.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're mouthy.
I've been mouthy since the first sonogram, dude. I was literally flipping the thing off. I'm not joking.
So, who are the guys in the business of little childhood Christian watching professional wrestling? Who are the guys wowing you then? Maybe even who's the guys that wow you now as a fan?
So my dad, when I was a kid, my dad was a huge WCW guy. Like, but my grandpa was a WWF guy, right? So like what would happen is we would be watching on the couch, and I was super little, but I can remember like right in like the end of '99, the switching the channel thing. My grandpa and my dad would do that for Raw and Nitro. And I'm not gonna lie, and it's, you know, my older age, I appreciate WCW a lot more now, because when I was a kid, like I didn't know why Mr. Lord Steven Regal was out here wrestling like Malenko for 15 minutes. Like, I didn't know, but now I get it, and that's what I watch. But when I was a kid, man, like the Hardy Boys, Gangrel, Y2J, oh man, I'm not even gonna lie, Stone Cold Steve Austin for sure. I have a picture of me at like 3 years old. My grandma made me a vest, knee pads, and like trunks like that had Stone Cold's thing on it, so I could like be Stone Cold all the time. And like I had this one's kind of makes sense if you think about my promos now. But I very much loved Road Dogg because I just loved oh, you didn't know? That was just so loud. So I would just do it all the time. Like, because I thought it was obnoxious and make my mom mad. So I just do it all the time. Like, and then also Booker T because I love the whole, can you dig it, sucker? So I would just do that all the time too. And like, those two guys were like two of my favorites. And then it just was like all the time. And then, of course, Rob Van Dam. Like, everybody in the Invasion, basically, that's when I started watching. Was like, that's when I can remember, like, oh, wrestling is awesome. Because I was seeing, like, Rob Van Dam wrestle Jeff Hardy. And I, like, loved both guys. Or I would watch, like...
The right person won.
Yeah, well, listen. I'm not going to say that's... I'm not going to say that's incorrect. Because Rob Van Dam is the man.
No, I just love... You know how I am about the Hardys. I'm somebody that respects them. We've talked about this, but
me and Lucas,
you and Lucas are so big Jeff Hardy guys and stuff, and now it's become just a thing for me to bust your guys' balls about Jeff Hardy.
Well, no, see, that's the other thing. Me and Lucas are salty right now. You want to know why?
What?
The Motor City Machine Guns are on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown on national TV every Friday. We don't have a moveset anymore, pal. I swear to God, I think it was Corey Graves. He was like, when they debuted, he was like, this is your favorite tag team's favorite tag team. Lucas was sitting on my couch and I went, damn, dude.
Fried us without knowing it.
Damn, we just got cooked. Our finisher's a neck breaker double stomp. They do the neck breaker splash. They have the machine gun combo thing where they end with the bridge drop kick. We do that. I'll hold the ropes open. Lucas suicide dives through. That dude, we can't do our whole move set anymore. No, we do. Thankfully, we have like a bunch of other moves that we do. But like for a while, we were just like, oh man, we'll just hit the best of the Machine Guns playlist because they're not a tag team like right now. Like they're just wrestling singles. We'll just do their moves all the time because we love them. And now we can't.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, and I should point out, Lucas said it in the comments. I do want to make this clear. When we were kids, Lucas did not like Jeff Hardy. Like
he did. He does.
Yeah.
Like
Lucas's whole thing from the kid was like, from when we were kids, all Jeff does is flip around and he looks cool.
Yeah.
That's what, like, and I was like, yeah, that's why I like him. And Lucas is like, yeah. Like,
one day, like we got to the show, and I don't know what kick I was on, but I was on a Jeff Hardy dislike train. And anyone and everyone that were listening, and Elri's sitting right next to me, just laughing as I'm just dogging. Jeff Hardy's not the better Hardy. Stop saying it.
Dude, if the thing is, man, like I can't even argue about the Hardys anymore because like fundamentally Matt has always been the better wrestler. I mean, there's no arguing, but like, dude, Jeff's got more charisma in his pinky finger than most human beings like have in their whole body. Like that's the thing, dude. And that's the thing I've kind of learned about wrestling as I get older too. Ruby was one of the guys I heard say this first, like at RCW. It's not always about the moves, dude. Like some crowds, they want to see moves and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, like, but for the most part, dude, it really is. It's a mixed bag. You need to be able to do some cool stuff, but also have like a character that people can get behind. Like, well, Ruby was one of the first guys I ever heard say that. And you look at the Hardys, that's why they're such a good team. They have they've got the charisma of Jeff, they've got the mat skill of Matt Hardy, and then you put them together. They're brothers. You can't teach that kind of chemistry, man.
Not only that, Matt this has become like a Jeff Hardy because I haven't changed my thoughts on Jeff. Jeff is still my least favorite. Matt has always been my favorite.
I get it.
I'm not going to lie. For one, he also had the banging chick back in the day.
Yeah, but you see how far that got him.
But that's all right. It doesn't matter. I was a kid then. I was like, yes. That's my hero because that's the woman I want to
So what I'm hearing is you were crying when Edge came through the smoke a couple.
Not really, because I'm an Edge head through and through.
Me too. I love Edge.
So, I can't. And then Matt, like, two of my favorite guys. I'm a tag team fan, by the way. So two of my favorite guys from tag team gave us some of the best storyline and put a heated like a true reason to be pissed off at somebody aside and painted us such a magnificent series of feud.
It was good
for us. Like Matt Hardy's a goat. In version 1, Jeff didn't become really cool until Itchwood got brought up. I'll say it.
I think the version 1 stuff was great, and it was 100%. The first chance the Hardys got to break away from each other. And I kind of relate to it because Lucas has always been way better in the ring than me. Like on the mat, like with his footwork, his timing is impeccable, dude. Like that's why I like tagging with him because like I don't really have to try. He's always there, you know. Like but with like, dude, he's always been way better than me in the ring, and like. It's like crazy because like when we first like a couple of years ago started doing solo stuff, I was like, well, I'm cooked. Like I'm cooked. I don't have my brother. I don't know how at my size I'm gonna really do much, and I had to like very much rely kind of like how Matt started doing like a lot, or how Jeff started doing a lot of like the painting his face and like trying to like connect with people. That became like my thing. Like I got to figure out how to grab people at my small size, and then like Lucas is over here just name me one single bad L-Ride match. I'll wait.
I won't say one. I can't say I enjoy most of one of his matches.
Dude, I've watched every one, and there's only one that I can think that comes to mind where I'm like, you know, and it wasn't his fault, and I'll preach that to the day that wasn't his fault. And like, so for me, I relate to the Hardys a lot, dude, because they're so like, man, yeah, their story's a lot like ours. It's a little different, but it's a lot like ours.
100%. YouTube. I think that's why I like that we get to mess around with each other about it because I see a lot of you guys in how they did it.
I think a lot of this generation is like that, right? Like a lot of this generation is very like Rob Van Dam and Hardy Boys and like you know, you look at like Will Ospreay or like even like if you want to use like a WWE guy as to not spark the great debate because I don't want to hear it. You look at a WWE guy like who's like flipping and flying like
Nathan Frazier.
I was gonna say Fraxium, yeah, literally Fraxium, right? So they like, dude, like their style. You watch them, and it's almost like watching a time machine of like, oh, this is like watching Rob Van Dam and Jerry Lynn if they were like a tag team like all the time. Got it. Like, and back in the 90s, maybe that wasn't okay, or the 80s, it wasn't okay. But dude, it's like wrestling's just so different now. Like WWE's got a thing like where they're putting cameras in their writing room now, and you're gonna get mad because I did a backflip. You know what I'm saying? But there is a line. There's a line, though, where it's like, all right, guys, we're having Super Saiyan fights out here. And don't get me wrong. I love it. But, like, let's not have Super Saiyan fights on TV for human beings. You know?
Why did you like? I've disliked Cena for so long because one of them reasons because he's always been like portrayed as the Goku for the nerd. Like,
yeah.
Ruby, do you remember when I told you like one of the things I like about wrestling is how wrestling has incorporated so much of pop culture that wrestling is its own pop culture thing. Like, like it's trending in pop culture now, in my opinion. Like it's the head of the table for most things because everything entertainment has flowed through that. And we got to see Claudio and Sheamus when they were doing the bar. What did they do? They literally every time they came in did the fusion ha and stuff like. I love that nerdism, but when Cena leaves, I'm going to be sad because it's going to be like Goku actually passing away, I think. And I don't even like Goku.
I definitely I cried when when I watched Cena like walk down the ramp for the Rumble. I was like, I had some gangster tears streaming.
No, Randy's been my dude for so many years that
that RKO felt good.
Yeah. The real villain's finally getting beat up.
No, he needed to RKO Cena. Who's Cena ever beat, right? No, I'm just... I'm having a bit of fun. I'm having fun. I love this show, dude. This is fun.
Man, I'll tell you. So as far as your journey, still continuing journey, which thanks for making the destination on that Jeff Hardy hate train, Z. Because I thought that was one way with no destination, and we don't know where the brakes are going to hit. But, you know, I totally get it, man. So we should make a part about Matt Hardy. When they split up, it was like 2003 or 2002, whatever. And then Matt Hardy had a whole gimmick lined out with version 1 and with Shannon Moore. What did Jeff do? Oh, I'm still gonna thrash and jump off stuff. So it's like, no change. Oh well.
The
Well, I
fact he
mean,
can walk is so cool. Cause I there's days I don't think I'm gonna be able to, man. Like that dude, you say whatever you want. Jeff's crazy.
That dude. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not knocking him on that. I just want it to be known.
Oh yeah, I get it. He's tough though. I don't know how. Like him and Darby. Like I think about Darby Allin all the time too. How's he gonna walk?
Yeah, that's one that. And I like Darby too, but the cool thing about Jeff too, and now I think him slowing down, and this kind of plays into you a little bit on the slowing down thing and becoming the fighter. In all sense, I wanted Ruby to make a question, but now I get a question in my head. But like Jeff with like Itchweed, when he brought Itchweed to TNA and Willow, that's when I was like, why didn't we see this there? Because like that was the evolution I felt like we needed. I felt like we got an evolution with Matt, right? In the middle. Absolutely. With version 1 and stuff. We got this different alternative. And then the stuff that he did with MVP.
It's fantastic.
Bar none, one of the best mid-card feuds of all time. Bar none. And yeah. And it was originally meant for MVP said this on CVV. It was originally meant for him and Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be Matt Hardy and Mr. Kennedy having that feud.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's how quick times can change too. Like Ruby can probably attest. He's probably been part of it. You're at a show, you think one thing's gonna happen, somebody's hurt, whole card changes. Like literally, entire card changes. Now you were 5th, now you're 1st. Get out there. Good luck. Like it's.
Dang. That's big words right there, Mr. Herb, and I appreciate those, sir.
Yeah.
Herb,
we appreciate that, Herb. Well, you are right though. But I've also been on a part of the coin where I've actually had to be the first match of the show, and I actually threw out my hip on a mistimed leg drop jumping because I didn't know where I was going to job, and I jumped awkwardly and I came right down, pinched a nerve, and I was supposed to.
Those hurt.
I was supposed to finish the night in a battle royal, which I had to stay up, walking around in the back the entire night. I couldn't sit down or whatever, and then it still hurt to walk around, but I stayed up because I knew what they needed at the end of the night, what Frank wanted. I'm like, well, I don't know if Frank's got a plan B, but screw it, I'm just gonna go. And yeah, it hurt like hell getting home. I tell you that. But
that's the worst is when you get hurt and you're like kind of farther away. That happened to me at OVW a couple weeks ago. I took like a really, really, really bad bump, like one that I'm not gonna lie, like I'm sure you've had these, like where you hit the ground and you just know, like you get to a certain point in your career where you're like, well, that just took probably a day or two legitimately off of my lifespan, like because my body now that's damaged, like it's damaged, like. And it's like, I don't know, man, like maybe it's dramatic to think that way, but I think about it a lot, like now, like, because there's so many wrestlers that talk about the damage wrestling does. Like, I can't imagine. Bumping it alone hurts, but when like the OVW ring, I like it a lot, and it's a very nice bump. Like, don't get me wrong, but like when it hurts really bad in that thing, I've done something. And my lower back since that has happened is not. It's not anywhere near 100%. That was the only thing I was happy about the show getting rained out yesterday, was that I didn't have to fall, because my lower back is still in so much pain, dude.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, the things to do, at least with me, young in career, taking concrete bumps on suplexes and all that. Yeah, you'll eventually feel it at some point. Yeah, trust me on that. So
I'm grateful my generation was like, we missed like right before the in training. I remember like a lot of the trainers that like Sadie's talked about it, Espy's talked about it before. Like some of the trainers would make guys bump concrete before the ring, and it's like an old school way to break in. And like my generation, I like missed that by like not a lot from my understanding, and I'm grateful that we missed that.
Yeah, the only extreme, like I said, and if I had $1 every time I said this on the show, I probably wouldn't have to work tomorrow. But
I'm stealing that one. That's fine.
Go right ahead. But the only bumping I done here was the 2-inch polyurethane mat. That's about, I don't know, maybe 4x8. I laid it on the ground and I was bumping on grass. That was between that. That was how I was bumping back in my teens. And that's how and I was wrestling and I was doing football there too. And then
football is damaging, man.
Yeah.
Shoulders get all tore up, your knees and your hips. Yeah.
You tell me, because I mean I've been dealing with the trick shoulder for years, and I just
Sadie, real quick, I just want to shout this out. Sadie said thanks to Ben and Pete, he missed that too. Big Ben and Pete Madden didn't make him do that. That's cool. Yeah. Lucas was brought up. Our first bumps were like kind of on like the ground, just like outside, kind of like what you were talking about, Ruby. Like guys that we were training with not Sadie. It wasn't Sadie. When we first started learning, they had us bumping on the ground too. It's like, but it wasn't like concrete. I'm really thankful for that, because man, there's some guys I talk to that are in the business that bump concrete, man, and I can't imagine the damage that did. It's unnecessary too, like in the grand scheme of wrestling now and like how we are now. It's so unnecessary for those guys. I feel bad for them, you know.
Bro, I have a calcium fused vertebrae in the middle of my back because of taking a weird suplex bump on the concrete.
Man. See, that's just, first off, I'm glad you can walk, and I'm glad you're still able to kick people's faces in. That's cool. Because, man, that sounds like it would be very painful, but at least obviously you've worked through it, and man, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say God willing, because I don't know, I'm still trying to get over it. I had to do something extracurricular today when I had a show last night, and a guy of my size and a guy that just turned 50 like about a month ago. Yeah,
I didn't even know you were 50. You look great for 50, dude. You look really young in your face. Like, I'm not kidding. You look great.
Right? 50's the new 30, bro.
Way,
you know what?
I mean, as far as my body, but
right. I get you though. I'm not nowhere near 50, but I definitely, man, the day after a show's never easy, and I can't imagine, especially with your back, dude. Man,
you should go back. Is it? It's still up there on the internet, right? Your poll smack you just recently did, because that thing's sick. I just watched it. This man at ACW goes locomotive head first straight into the pole and down to the concrete in the ground.
I think I may have seen this.
It's beautiful. I love seeing Big Ruby just try to destroy people like that.
Dude.
Yeah, I posted pretty good, and I flipped. I didn't catch too much of the apron at all. I might have grazed
just dunk.
and I hit the tile floor. So that
He's
was
a pimp.
Yeah, tile floor's unforgiving. You'll get burned. Like sliding across it. It's happened to me a few times. I get like launched and slide, and oh, dude, it's terrible. Keep almost knocking this belt over.
Some rain cereal slip and slides.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Fat people don't slide; they stump and tumble. Okay, so that.
You know what? I've not had that problem yet. One day with the way I eat, dude, it's gonna happen. So I will discover probably that. But
no, you're gonna be a lawn dart for the rest of your life. You're not,
dude. You know what? My dad thought that. My dad thought that. My dad was like 160 pounds until he turned 50. And then like the last 5 years, my dad has like gained some weight. Like my dad was making jokes at Thanksgiving last year that like he needs to slow down, because like, dude, he's gained some weight. He looks all right though. He's dramatic. He's very dramatic. He looks fine. He looks the way he's supposed to at 55. You know. Yeah. I'm always on him, dude. My dad's got such a poor self-image. He's a great guy. He looks great. He's always been athletic. He's super nice, super nice human being. Like, he needs to quit being mean to himself. He's such a jerk for that.
That's the pot calling kettle black.
Yeah, listen, dude. Where do you think I learned it from? Where do you think I get it from? It was taught.
Z, you're talking about lawn darts, and now I'm picturing the Exodus shouting, "Now top this, Ray!"
That's one of my
I don't know, man.
When they throw Ray across the mat and like slide him, and he falls on the mat, outside mat. Like, I love that. I don't know why I do.
I have fallen on the outside of the OVW ring on like their padding a few times, and it's. I think people on TV think it's like nice. I feel bad for Rey Mysterio, dude. There's a reason that his knee...
I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it when I watched you do it too.
Dude, like,
it's one of the spots that I don't care. I understand.
I'll tell you what, if you ever see me take a fall away slam, that's the Chris Exodus bump for me. It's like I get
Oh.
thrown because dudes just launch me, and like I always hit the mat and twist. I'll fall out of the ring because I don't know where I'm at. I'm literally like a little, like the cartoon, like the tornado just flying through, and there's like two guys fighting and fists are popping out. Dude, when I get fall away slammed, it's like that. I've hit referees, dude. At no fold, I landed like I fell out of the ring and I tried to grab the rope on my way out because I knew I was cooking. Like I was moving and I missed the rope and I landed. There's a guy in a wheelchair and I smashed into his legs and I looked up at him. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Shout out to this dude. He looked down at me. He went, "I can't feel it anyway. It's all right, dude." I'm supposed to be in this hardcore, like I'm supposed to be this fighter, and I'm sitting here covered my face trying to, because he's just popped me. He's just popped me. I did not expect this. I was about to apologize and be, "I'm so sorry. I'll get in there and punch this guy in his face." And he was just like, "It's all right. I can't feel him anyway." I'm like, "Dude, that's not funny. That's not funny."
It's hilarious.
And it is, but it's not funny when I'm trying to wrestle. So I'm trying to like bite my hand. I was like ripping my wrist tape off, trying to look aggressive to hide my face. Dude, I was laughing so hard. I just smacked my microphone. Can I go grab a bottle of water? Do we have time for that?
Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead, real
I'll
quick,
be
man.
right back.
You'll go right ahead. I mean,
Do you want to know why we got a little break time to cover one of the major news things? Because Christian's just going to talk with us. Like we know that Exodus.
No, I mean, the only other thing that I was going to really kind of, because there's big there's big happenings coming up within these next couple weeks in St. Louis. With this week, with WWE coming in for Backlash,
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
which I think they're having the kickoff show on the Friday or something. I don't know. I have to check that again, but I don't know if they're what the tickets are going to be for that, and I may be busy Friday, but Saturday, of course, Saturday's Backlash here in St. Louis, with Randy getting a shot at John Cena, and just evolutionized with that, and me and some of the guys in the back, and some of our veterans in the back, were kind of talking about, because Search was really good friends with Bob, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were kind of talking about our Randy stories, and I got a real gem of a Randy story of how, I don't know who showed the clip on We Talk Wrestling this week, or maybe this past week, but the whole chronicle of the start of the Orton Cena feud. You probably did that.
Yeah.
When the prototype was escorted by Kenny Bolin.
Yep.
And then Randy comes out, and I'm like, first I didn't know what it was, and I hear familiar music, and this takes me back because the song was was "Breathe" by Prodigy, and when I was in 3D Incorporated back in '98, it was the faction back in Central States or Frank or whatever. This is '98. This is and I just kind of wonder if I had an influence on that, because this was like right at the summer of '98 that started. Bob was there that night to work Butch Reed, I believe, and I was in the Overland Community Center. And I was in the sub main event, I think, like one of the two main events, but I was facing up to get the heavyweight championship title back. And the faction, whatever they come out there playing that song, and the only time I've really gotten to know how Randy Orton was shy or didn't know what to say, or maybe he was just instructed to not say that much. But the first glance I saw of Randy was him in his Letterman's jacket from Hazelwood Central in '98, and he's just walking through the locker room, not knowing how big this guy was going to be years later. And it's just,
that's crazy.
And I'm like, I must have done something wrong, or I'm just not in the right ear. It's like, but here I am, 23, winning basically around the same town where I grew up in. I'm winning my second heavyweight title match at, big time at the, going over hill. And that was basically one of my first good stretches as champion, for Frank back then in '98. But that's how I remember Randy. I mean, he's just a young 18-year-old kid, and and just to know how everything evolutionizes, changes, and I mean it's just mad. So, but to see him capitalize, him and Cena one last time here in St. Louis, is going to be something else. And Randy's just gone. And of course, he was at last year's Fan Fest too. And
yeah, Randy was there.
Yeah.
Screw you, GQ. Still, screw you, GQ. Still.
Yeah, last year's Fan Fest. Last year's Fan Fest was pretty cool. This one looks stacked.
Oh my God! Yes, it does,
bro. It's something that I look forward to every year. It's amazing in the fact that I get to go and pick the brain of arguably to me one of the greatest promoters in this area or this business period. Because he doesn't realize it, but I meticulously watch everything they do. I analyze it. I'm watching SICW Explosion, right?
Yeah.
So,
SICW All Star Wrestling.
All Star Wrestling. I want to call it Explosion for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, that's their Facebook page, but
okay, because it's confusing.
I understand.
All Star Wrestling. I watch it meticulously. I love the stuff. I love watching the old school match because they're doing something much different than everybody else. They give us a oldie from the archives, and then they have their actual matches, and it's beautiful. It's awesome because you get the history, and then you get to see what's going on today. I'm in. I want to learn. Feed me for the first time. Ryback's actually useful. Feed me more.
Dude, it is pretty. It is pretty cool to see like the older matches and stuff, and like the back catalog from SICW is crazy long. Like it's super long. Company's been around a long time. Plus, they've done a lot of work with like back in the day when they were doing like stuff with MMWA and like, man, there's so many crossovers that happened that like if you were watching both shows at the time that were awesome. Like, so yeah, dude, like definitely. I wish there was like, and maybe Ben Simon could point me in the right direction here, but I wish there was like a St. Louis wrestling archive, like of tapes of like old independent shows and stuff that we could just watch. Cause like there are so many shows that I hear like Lightfoot talk about, or I'll hear Sadie talk about, or SB talk about that I'm like, dude, I wish I could see it. Like, I wish I could be there. Crowd sounds great. Like, locker room environment sounds great. Wish I could be there. Sucks. Like, so I wish there was like a database of tapes somehow. I don't know if that exists. Maybe it does. I don't know.
I will tell you this right now. You stay friends with me long enough and actually answer your phone. I can send you videos of stuff. I dig, bro.
Because like the biggest thing I look for is any kind of like crossover of companies, because I am obsessed with like Wrestler A from this company in St. Louis, and they're like known. Right, like they're not like they're necessarily like a poster child, but they're like known to be of that brand, right? And all of a sudden they're here. It's really cool. Yeah. Like the best one I can think of, like most recently, was when Gary J showed up at like PWE in Spalding. It was like this like weird like wait, whoa, because like this is Gary's building, and pretty much everybody knows that, but this is Lenny's show. Like, whoa, like it was cool. Another one that was cool is like Lightfoot coming to CHWA, because he's always been an RCW guy, and then for a while he was like a huge MMWA guy. Now he's here. Like, it's like, man, like I could just keep going. Like, it's so cool to see all the crossovers right now and like all the different companies. So I'd like to go back in time and see the classic ones.
Oh, dude, the local classic stuff would be sick too. Yeah.
Yeah, MWR, yeah. Dude, Aaron's spot on. Got everything ECW put out.
Yeah, I mean, basically Ben's stuff with Midwest Renegade Wrestling, and then eventually changing over to Gateway. Man, like you said, those guys have, they had a really good tenure as far as putting out their shows. I mean, had some big stars coming in. I mean, definitely had. And it almost kind of, I mean, I hate to compare it to ECW, but I mean, it was almost like the ECW
it had that
feel.
Vibe.
Yeah, it does have that vibe. But it wasn't bad though. I mean, it's not like they were trying to copy them or anything else. No. It was just a vibe of style of wrestling.
It had like an early Ring of Honor vibe too. It kind of like
right.
If you look at Dynamo's like visuals from like back in the day, like even now, if you look at the way Dynamo sets their barricades up with like the the logo board thing and stuff. It's very like reminiscent of like '06 Ring of Honor. I love it. And yeah, it's like if ECW and our early ROH had like a child, like Dynamo would like pop out. Like, dude, it's so cool. So cool. They just got a new canvas too. Bummer that Cinco got rained out. They got a beautiful canvas for that ring, dude. Beautiful.
Oh, really?
Canvas. Yeah.
Oh
That
yeah,
sucks.
it looks really good.
They got
Yeah,
brand
I
new
saw it
ring
too.
skirts. It's got their logo all. Dude, their ring looks so good. So good.
Yeah, man, it definitely looks fantastic. And uh, I mean, as far as I know we're eventually going to target maybe because I want to target something here that maybe it's kind of like full circle. But before we do that, um, me, of course, I've grown up on old school. I'm going to stay old school, true to my roots. And to me, nostalgia does overtake. When when something with like history of like certain promotions or like when it comes to the history of wrestling, if you somehow become a history of wrestling part of and as far as like what wrestling represents and what's happened in these buildings, like for me, for instance, I'll
Yeah.
name a couple. With of course, with getting the opportunity, I've been blessed for the short stint I had, but I was in MMWA for a while. And just knowing the history that the South Broadway Athletic Club just for some reason it just
Yeah.
gave me like a different vibe and a different feel because I knew how nostalgia was to me. And as far as like with the history of wrestling, and then of course also getting a chance to work a show at the Missouri Athletic Club, uh, which for some reason, it just had that old school wrestling at the Chase Field when they had the ring set up and everything else, because that's just what I grew up on, and for some reason, it
Right.
just overtook me more. So, um, if kind of take me back, I mean, because I know you had some work in MMWA, but we can get
Sure.
into some of these places that know that have, or like any venue, or come across anybody that's had like a long history, like a history of wrestling that's notable, respectable, whatever the case may be. I mean, how does that make you feel knowing that you get a chance to be part of something like that? That's deep in roots in the business.
I cry about it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I cry about it. Like, so the big one for me was Dynamo. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Me and Lucas wrestling in Cinco was a really big deal to me. And then wrestling at Broadway was a big deal for me. When I cut like when I was a kid and I went to RCW, so I got to wrestle there, and that was cool. When me and Lucas started training at Dynamo, we were training to be a tag team, right?
Right,
So
right.
I always wanted to be the Dynamo Tag Champions. Like, I didn't think I could, I didn't know there was a possibility to ever go anywhere else, because we're talking almost 15 years ago now. It's a different time, dude. I'm a little dude. It was a different time back then, even then, compared to now. Like, so in my head, if me and Lucas could just win the Dynamo tag titles, dude, I would feel like we were the best tag team ever. We did it, right? Well, then that like full moment happened at Cinco. And when I was holding the belts, I thought about like all these tag teams that have like held these titles that are in my hand right now. And I thought about that. I thought about that when we won the MMWA tag titles, because those are like recognized also along with the Dynamo tag titles
Yeah,
on like
yeah.
all these legit websites. And the MMWA tag titles, like, I could go on for hours about the lineage of those things. Like,
Yes,
uh,
you can.
to get to wrestle at Broadway was cool for me, because knowing the history of St. Louis, that is like a place where a lot of people have come out of and went to for some of their first matches.
Yeah,
Dynamo being GCW basically beforehand, like, and it's Dynamo now. Like, think about the names that have come out of some like the dojo and some of the stuff at Dynamo. Delirious, Seidel, like both the Seidels. Like, there's so many people, and I get to be part of all of that. And like, I get very emotional pretty often. I'm surprised I'm not right now, to be honest with you. Like, I get very emotional pretty often talking to my friends and family about like just being thankful that I've got to do some of that stuff. And so it's funny you're talking about the venue thing, right? Like, because when I walked in Broadway for the first time, like out of the door on the babyface side, like out of the door, and I really took in that I was there. And I was like, wow, dude, like this is crazy. This place is huge. Being there, and then being in Concordia Turner for a while with Dynamo, knowing that I've seen a lot of shows like on footage of that building with like all kinds of people, especially Makazi. And now I'm in this building, like doing this. And it's funny because Zmiz talked about having a panic attack. One of the last shows at Concordia Turner, me and Lucas had to wrestle against the Agents of Chaos, Big Vic and Xavier Shadows. And I was legitimately having a panic attack in the match. I right before we went through the curtain, my chest started grinding. I started having like uncontrollable sweating. I couldn't breathe. And we got out there and it didn't stop. Like normally that happens sometimes, but then it stops when we get out there. It didn't stop. So I was having a full panic attack, and like it was terrible. I felt so bad because I could not perform very well. I was trying to like I took a back body drop and basically hugged Big Vic because I couldn't process going in the air, and like it was terrifying. It was awful. And thankfully everybody in the ring, including the referee, was a professional and really helped me. I don't know what was going on that day. It just happened. And dude, like that building, like that energy was there, but by the end of the night, everybody had surrounded me with so much love, dude, and like checking on me. And like every time I think about Concordia Turner, I don't think about the matches anymore like I used to. I think about my connection with like the Agents of Chaos and Sadie and the Arch City Mercenaries and like all the people that were there that night that just surrounded me, getting me bottles of water, trying to talk me down. Because I don't know what was going on, man. Like I still don't to this day. It was the worst panic attack I've ever had in my life, probably. Like, it was terrible. And there was that one, and then at CHWA last Saturday, I was getting ready to leave. Like I was the last guy out. Me and Dilly were the last two guys out, and Dilly was out at his truck, and I spun around and I really took in that, and I'm glad I can say this in a public forum. This is the longest we've ever been in a building somewhere. CHWA has been in this building for over 2.5 years, and we have never been in a building that long. And awesome. I thought about every match that I've been involved in there. I thought about every moment where, and now the emotions kick in because we're talking about CHWA. Dude, I thought about my match with Ashlyn that night. I thought about my match with Tommy. I thought about winning unifying the titles. I thought about the fact that, the last match my grandma got to see me have was at CHWA against IP Mason. I can't thank him enough for that match. It's probably my favorite match ever. And like, there's so many more memories I could bring up. Makazi winning the title, watching Ant and Quest really get their first reps, like some of their first matches. Like I can think about like the crowd this last Saturday was so invested in the end. I had to tell them to go home because they wanted a resolution, dude. Like they were mad, and I just having that, I took a moment to really breathe that building in and really just be present in it, because I don't know how many more times the company's going to be able to be there, because for a shoot, like CHWA doesn't have a lot of money. We never have. Like we operate pretty much on what we get at the door, and it's like it's not easy. Like, but we're still kicking. We're the little engine that can, dude. And we're gonna keep on going. But like, maybe something happens. We can't. It's happened before. 127, Mystical Journeys, a bunch of stuff's been out of our control, and we lose our venue. It happens. I thought about the fact, like, I'm wrestling for OVW a lot, and just like for full sake of transparency, I can't be at the CHWA May show. There's a possibility of July looking rough too. Like because I've got so much going on with like all these OVW road shows and outside of St. Louis, like I'm getting ready to do some stuff with Rocky Mountain Pro. I've been doing stuff with NWA Texas. So like I had this thought, like I really need to take this building in, dude, because what happens if I don't, and then I'm out of here before I know it, and I forget all this. Like I want to take it all in. I want to see every inch of this building right now, and I took it all in. And it was very emotional, and maybe nothing happens. Maybe like I've thought this too. Like maybe I am like just destined to do what I'm doing right now forever, and just be in St. Louis and be at OVW, and that's cool, dude. Like I would be so thrilled with that, because I wasn't supposed to be doing any of this. Like the fact I can do any of it's cool. But yeah, taking that building in, Ruby, that's a very good. There's a lot of buildings around St. Louis with rich history. Like all the buildings SICW's run in. I mean, dude, you've had WWE, ECW, WCW legends come out there and have matches and do all kinds of, like, dude, there's so many buildings, and I think if you step inside the building, the energy's just there, with or without a ring. You can just feel the wars that have happened. You know, it's a really special thing, dude. It's a
Snap
really
on that
special
one.
energy. Yeah, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
a lot of energy.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, as far as because you don't have to have a wrestling show on the. I mean, if you go into the like I said, if you like others who back in the '80s, if you went into like the Kiel Auditorium, even with, and if you're a wrestling fan, I mean, go look Kiel Auditorium in the '80s. I mean, I had a lot of concerts. I'm pretty sure before that, but this was after the fact that wrestling at the Chase stopped. And even people can like wrestling fans that like go to like concerts or whatever else. They're like, man, I remember all these huge wrestling matches that were here back in the day and all that. So I mean,
Yeah.
it can carry like a lineage can carry no matter what happens in there.
Well, do you think too, like a promotion, if they're in a place long enough, that kind of helps their look, like their vibe? Because like I think about like the place CHWA's at right now. It looks the same all the time. Imagine if our backdrop, like imagine if the building was different. It might not have the same feel that it's got right now. The same way like the was it third? Or I always mess this up because like my mind is bad with numbers. I'm not dyslexic, but ADHD exists. I think it's like the 2600 arena, the ECW arena.
Yeah,
Like,
Philly.
dude, yeah. Like, imagine if ECW was in like, I don't know, like I don't know, like Madison Square Garden instead. Would it be
I mean, that's the same
thing?
way when you think of Madison Square Garden. That's the great thing. Like, I automatically just go right to WWE matches.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's that when you think of ECW, you go right to Philly and the match there, like the venue there that they lived at, and the home venue, and that's a really big thing because with the SICW knowledge I have, the things that have happened in the Bel Clair Fairgrounds alone, just since then,
man.
and then the fact to add to that, that's where I met Penta, Ray Phoenix, Ethan Page for the first time, like so many other great guys because of Glory Pro. So like, there's another company that worked out of that one,
and like Herb's saying, like, we felt it at the Chase, like the goosebumps, like
Oh,
gets
yeah,
what I'm
dude.
talking about.
That would be
Dude,
sick.
there's like, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's an energy that I feel at CHWA for myself when I go through there that's unlike anything else. And on the contrary to that, there's an energy inside the Davis Arena that I don't feel anywhere else. Like I wrestled at OVW last Thursday and we were outside at the Kentucky Derby Festival. It wasn't the same. The energy is not the same as it is in the Davis Arena. Like, these buildings are so special. Even if it's on like this independent level that we're all on, it's so beautiful for us because like to the outside world, this is kind of like a skateboarding thing too, by the way. Like to the outside world, these buildings are just bingo halls or wedding venues or like what, dude, these are places where like we fight and we bleed for this hardware, and like we tell these stories of this physical struggle between two grown men. Like it's not just a building. It's like it's like the Roman Colosseum for us, for like the like, and we're like the gladiators, and like skateboarding's like that. Because to everybody else, like to you guys, I don't know if you like skateboarding, but like if you don't, you guys
No,
see,
rail's
like,
a rail, bro.
dude.
If you know the hot spots in the, I'm a bicyclist. Skateboarders suck.
BMX.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it all plays hand in no, it all
Joking.
plays hand in hand. Like,
no, I'm joking. I
it
like
all
skateboarders too.
dude, it all plays hand in hand. It's the same concept. Like, if like to the most people, they'll look at a staircase and they'll be like, oh, that's, I got to walk up this thing. I'll look at it and be like, all right, so I know I could backside flip this. I could probably 180 it. I'm not gonna tray flip this thing. Like, I can tell,
Yep.
like, just because to me it's not a staircase. It's some kind of cool skateboarding obstacle. Like, and so like wrestling's like that. Like, you see these buildings and like I no longer think of like big stadiums as concert venues or like comedian things. Like, I literally see a stadium and I'm like, man, I wonder what a wrestling show in this would look like. Like, I don't think of anything else.
100%, bro.
Yeah. Buildings are like that too. I'll walk into a restaurant and I'll like look around and I'll be like, if you move some tables out of the way and you have like a maybe like a 16-foot ring, like a low boy, like I'm always thinking like shows, like what can we, like where could we throw a show that looks different? Because like, dude, that's one thing in the UK. No offense, because I know we live in the US. they kind of shit on us, like in the UK scene, because they do shows everywhere. They'll do them in a bar, they'll do them in a barn, they'll rent out a gas station, they'll rent out a KC hall, and people will come. People will show up. Like, why are we not doing that? Like, why is it weird to have a show outside in a parking lot?
Hey, dude, I don't see the UK having a wrestling match in a Walmart because that has been videotaped.
All right, that might be where I draw the line. Then again, I guess if I run out of like electrical tape,
I'd be at Walmart. I hate Walmart, so I'd be at Walmart in an instant to go watch a wrestling match.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that would probably be a really good outlet, actually, because a lot of the guys could get gear, you know, because that's where a lot of gear in the indie comes from.
You are so wrong for that. That was beautiful.
I mean, hey, it was me. I'm people. I died. I started in the backyard. I made a career out of making my own gear, dude.
That was awesome, dude.
That's so funny.
That was good.
Oh, my dog thinks I'm upset now. My emotional support pooch has come over here. I started yelling. She's like, "What, Dad? What's the deal?" No, I'm talking wrestling. It drives me crazy.
We're finally gonna touch on it in the big one. You've brought him up multiple times. You've had these great mentors throughout your career, Lightfoot, and now you're on Brandon Espinoza. Same with me. And I'm kind of learning from him and wanting to learn more. Just waiting for my turn, basically. And he allows you to take a trip to OVW.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to you, actually, because there's a certain we have a this is how crazy it is. You and I have a similar story. I'm a fan base style because my grandmother got me into professional wrestling. You and your grandma, you talk about it all the time. Loved professional wrestling. One of the things you guys watched and stuff and did and all that kind of stuff was OVW and
it's
how you told her.
It's the only thing we ever bonded over. Like, people really don't know unless they like know me. Like, Lucas could attest to it, Madison, a couple others. Me and my grandma never got along my whole life. No. Like, we never got along. Like, because like not only was I incredibly disrespectful as a kid, but also my grandma comes from a different time. So there was always this constant like friction that like she wanted things done a certain way my whole life that I was not willing to do. Like, and she had worldviews that I didn't share and political views that I couldn't stand. And like, we never really got along. We coexisted and we loved each other and we have good memories together, obviously. But then like a couple years ago, like right around COVID, like all of a sudden we started playing kendama together and watching wrestling. And it became every Monday, Wednesdays when NXT was on, but then obviously it switched to Tuesdays, then Wednesday with Dynamite, and then Friday with SmackDown, and we would even watch Collisions on Saturdays. Like, we watched everything. And that was our whole and then all of a sudden, for like the last couple years of my grandma's life, like, we were inseparable. We were best friends. Like, it was like we never had friction before. Like, we never argued or nothing. Like, because wrestling repaired everything that we couldn't figure out. And obviously, with therapy, I've learned a lot of why things were the way they were. On both of our accounts, there was a lot of mistakes happening. But that's okay, because, you know, we atoned for those, and my relationship with my grandmother really propelled me to be a wrestler. So yeah, and OVW was a huge thing because she loves Cody Rhodes and she loves CM Punk, and they came from there. And so she'd always, well, that's right down in Louisville. That's where I'm from. And she would like talk about how why don't I just go? Why don't I just go? And I used to tell her, Grandma, you got to be a big guy. You got to know somebody. Like, they'd never look at me, you know? And then SB decided, hey, you're going, you know, get in the car, MFer. And so we,
yeah, an SB style.
There was a lot of explicitives that I left out because I don't know how family friendly. And I already dropped an F-bomb live and hot on this thing, talking about Sadie earlier. He'll be real proud of me for that.
We had a very lovely lady on here a couple of weeks back, Miss Ava Brooks from the AIWF, and she dropped quite a few F-bombs, so we're kind of lenient.
But
don't get too wild. Don't get too wild.
Well, then I
like
can't
26.
start quoting SB because every word, brother. No, I'm kidding. He's not that bad. He's about as bad as I am for real. But
I don't know.
like,
him and I talking together, it's terrible.
Oh, me and him in the car, dude. Trust me, we could fill a novel of only curse words like the whole time. But no, he took me down there, man, and there's a lot of guys in St. Louis that they shit on him. They want to talk about when he was younger and it was a hothead. Well, so was I, and when he talks, it just makes sense. And a lot of the things he says, sometimes they're not nice. Like, they're very direct. But you know what? I've learned being down at OVW, dude, he literally talks just like Al. Like, he talks like Al and all the guys down there. Like, they're very direct. Like, if they don't like something, they're just going to go, hey, this absolutely sucks. Stop. And like, okay, like you just got to get used to it. Like, it's something that like if it took me a minute to kind of adjust to how he spoke to me sometimes, because it's vastly different than how I'm used to being spoke to. But the cool thing about SB is he's not a disrespectful dude. He's not like sitting there like, hey, you're a fucking idiot. Like, he's not doing that. It's just like, hey man, this is really not good. You should really try this, because if you don't, you're going to look really terrible out there. It's like he's being directly honest, and sometimes it doesn't sound nice, but it's always correct. And yeah, dude, so I would not be in OVW without him absolutely putting his neck out on the line, telling a few people, hey, you can trust this guy. Like, let him wrestle, like, see what he has at least, and like, he really stuck his neck out for me. So I'm forever thankful for that guy too. Him, Sadie, and Lightfoot are really the three best mentors and best people that I've ever had, like, in my like corner, dude, because like Lightfoot reinstalled the passion and the confidence in me to be a wrestler after my lung surgery. So I didn't think it was possible. He told me from the start he never doubted it. Sadie taught me everything I know and then some, and is still to this day teaching me more and more about wrestling. And then Espinoza is now polishing me and helping me get out of St. Louis. It's like I have a great support system of three absolutely three class gentlemen that have really put their egos and their own self aside, and they've always helped me. I don't know why, but I'll always be grateful for it, and I will forever thank them and credit those three, because they really have made Chris Exodus what he is, fully.
There you go.
That's all you need right there.
Yeah. And
I've learned that through therapy, a good support system, dude. It's all somebody needs. You need one person, one solid person in your life to tell you they believe in you and mean it, and that's it. And you can do whatever you want, dude. It really is. But you gotta believe them. You gotta not doubt that your friend is telling you the truth. You got to take them at face value, because if you don't trust them. That's disrespectful if you call them your friend.
Well, see, that's one of the things that I've been learning, and I off and on therapy. I've been in group therapy. I've been to self-love coaching. I became a certified self-love coach. So I am a certified self-love coach. I'm all about wanting to help mentally heal and whatnot. But one of the things I just recently heard, and I don't know if I sent this to you, Ruby, because I send you all kinds of spiritual shit from Ruby gets bombarded from me. Like, okay. But one of the things I sent to him, one of the things I watched was about love. And the word love and all that kind of stuff. We think love means affection for this person and whatnot. And what really love means, and this is one of the things I'm learning about wrestling too, is because the people that I tell in the wrestling community that I love, like, I'm one of those people, if I say the L word, you're getting it because I mean it. I'm that kind of guy. I'm a upfront. My tattoos on my arm because that's my right there, story right there on the sleeves.
Yeah.
And love's about actually just being okay with being with the person because of who they actually are. It doesn't matter that their views are different than you. It doesn't matter. Like, if you can just be around the person because you make me happy being there, like your company.
Yes.
I don't care how,
yes,
whatever. That's what it's about right there. And that's what, like, no lie, that's how I feel about SB. SB's one of those guys. When I met him, RCW right here, 2018, Quincy, Illinois.
I remember that show.
Center. Him and I sat there and talked about wrestling for an hour and a half. Then we went into stuff.
I remember that show because Frank called me on the phone and he was like, "We're bringing Brandon Espinoza to RCW," and I was hyped about it. So
yeah, dude, it's pumped. So it's coming full circle. I'm happy to. But no, that's cool, dude.
I love it, dude. I just love the area. There's a lot of negativity in our area, unfortunately, and it's never going to go away. I feel like that's a fantasy that everybody gets sold on every couple months is we can change St. Louis. No, we can't. It'll always be like this. It's been like this for like 55, 60 years. It's never going away. But the cool thing is in the locker room, a lot of stuff has changed, and I do genuinely feel like a lot of the guys in the business right now in our area, we care about each other. You know, like we all care about each other. Like when anytime one of us goes through something like a tragedy, bro, like we're all there to like pick each other up. Like there's been, I can't think offhand right now. I'd have to like go and like look up examples, but I know there's been GoFundMes that the wrestlers have all helped donate to another wrestler. There's been funeral stuff that we've helped pay for. Anytime one of us passes away, bro, we show up loud and proud. Like at the funeral, like we're always all collectively trying to be here for each other, and that's something I think wrestling it is so addictive to people when they get in it. Is a lot of people get in it because we don't know who we are and we don't belong anywhere. We feel very like we kind of just don't fit in, and then we finally find a group of people who are all different. I mean, all different kinds of people, and we're all the same. And we all have this love for each other, dude. It's so cool. I'm so grateful to get to be part of this, and I'm grateful to Sadie, Lightfoot, and SB for allowing me to, or helping me become a better version of myself in the ring and out of it. Because that's the other part of it. They don't just like, these three dudes didn't just like say, hey, let me teach you how to do a wrist lock. Like they taught me etiquette. They taught me how to be a man. They taught me how to let stuff go. Like SB's one of the reasons, Sadie too, like why I walked away from 2 of these situations that I had recently where some stuff happened with 2 of my friends that shouldn't have happened, and it was like a stupid physical thing. And in both situations, I tried to just walk away from it. Like I don't want to anymore. And like that's something hearing Sadie talk about, like Sadie, I mean, dude, Sadie's been a fighter for years. I think everybody kind of just knows that. You kind of don't mess with Sadie. It's kind of just a thing. And dude, like even him, like he's walked away from scenarios, and I'll be like, how do you just walk away from this, Sadie? And he'll be like, it's not worth my time. And like, I didn't get it. Now I get it. It's like, I'm starting to get it. And these guys have just endlessly, dude, put words. Sadie, I'm not going to lie. Sadie, I feel the most bad for because dude, I've been bothering that guy for years. I'll never stop bothering that guy. He's stuck with me for life. SB and Lightfoot too, but like Sadie's been doing it for so long now with me. Like he's probably wore out of dealing with me, you know, like he's had his fill, I'm sure. No, but
is that how you feel about me, Ruby? Because
no,
there's
the questions,
bro. There's times that we all know that Zmiz likes his good trees, right? I like a good tree time and to go smell the bushes, right?
You need trees.
Oh, you know, that's I'm gonna be honest. That's the one thing that I love to mess with SB about the most, because SB, I'm just putting it out there for the world. He makes it pretty public. He's straight edge.
He's straight edge. Like,
I respect it. I don't drink. I don't do any kind of hard drugs, but I do enjoy trees. You know, I like my broccoli.
But SB has to deal with this too with me.
You are a nightmare car for him. You are a nightmare car for him.
You know what? It just happened too. This past week, I did a goof. I had to be. I was doing some trees and watching wrestling and in creative mojo flow, watching storylines, because I watched like 9 different promotions in a span of like maybe 3-4 hours, kind of thing. You know, back and forth. And I got an idea, and I messaged Ruby the idea. It's like 3 in the morning. Hey, this, and I'm all hyped, hyper stoned. And I send it, and I'm like, hey, just send that on to the next people if you want to. Well, then my cojones got bigger, and I'm like, you know what? Screw that. And I just sent it to the other people, one of those people being Mr. Herb Simmons. It was like, if it fucking works, it works.
I can relate a little bit because Lucas is also straight edge, never done anything ever. And there's nights where I'll be like, I'll send him this novel of like, we should get this gear made. Here's what we should do. Here's why. And here, look, it ties into this guy in Skyrim. He's an NPC in this town that nobody's going to visit or know, but I know him because he's a fisherman, and we can have fisherman themed. Like, it's so stupid. Like, when I'm not stoned, I'll be like, unsend for everyone, hurry, and then he'll text me, I already saw it. No. All right, cool. Glad we're on the same page. No, there's been a few times, though, like, my mind has, like, creatively took over something with him and I, like, and he'll just let it happen, and it comes out great. One of our sets of gear that we got that we wear pretty frequently was a direct result of me really enjoying my garden of trees and broccolis and whatnot, and I said, here's the design, dude. Here's what I'm thinking. Can you draw this? He said, yeah, and then we got it made, dude. It's pretty cool gear too.
We're proud of you for that, Lucas, too. Just because we like to partake,
yeah,
it's cool.
Oh, he's had to put up with so much BS.
Sid for me is like, so that's my guy, Sid Holland, right?
Yep.
We're best buds here in Quincy. He's straight edge, and then I'm the.
I get it. Yeah, everybody, dude. Every group has the one. Every group's got the stoner, the straight edge guy, and the geeky guy. That's how it is. And like for my group, it works out perfectly because like I have a big circle of people now. Like it's honestly the biggest it's ever been. But like, dude, for years it's been like me, Lucas, Dilly. You know, like out of our friends here in our town, it's been like me, Lucas, and Dilly have kind of out of the town hang out. And it's funny because like Lucas is straight edge, Dilly super into like anime and video games and like nerdy stuff. And here I am, like this wrestler. I'm a stoner. I'm all about free spirit. And like we're literally the perfect little Ed Nettie trio of bullshit to like take over and like try to do a wrestling show. And like, dude, it's all this. It's all just I'm in this for jawbreakers, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I got into this.
I'm in this for jawbreakers. Ruby's like, did you watch Ed and Eddie at all, Ruby?
Dude. He had to have. It's a classic.
Ed and Eddie.
Ed and Eddie. It's a cartoon. It was a cartoon on Cartoon Network. I know it's probably past your time because like
I'm sorry, no,
yeah,
I have not.
He was chasing tail at that time.
I'd say he would have been like, he probably would have been like 20, 21 when that show came out. So Ruby was very much into like cars and women and beating people over the head with weapons and.
It's a good cartoon.
Yeah, it is. It's inspired.
Yeah, 90s rave clubs,
Hey, you know what? It was
rave club would make me laugh. That'd be great.
Hey, his gear would look great in a rave club.
It makes sense now. It makes Ruby was a raver. You were a raver.
That's why. That's why he likes Jeff Hardy. That's why he likes Jeff Hardy. Zmiz, I got it. This has been in our face the whole time. He wears green. You painted your nails in the 90s too. I want to see photos. Get the picture.
I did not.
Now.
I have never painted my nails, bro.
But other people did it for you because Rough Cut needed the rough paint. You know what I'm saying?
I'm over.
I'm having a good time.
I'm over. That's great.
Oh
no, I was.
Jesus.
No, I mean I was breaking into alcohol with foo-foo drinks, but it's either way.
I understand that.
No, my gear would look great in a rave club, but yeah, no, I was not watching those cartoons. I was barely watching any cartoons at all. In fact, I was just, still single. Trying to still party it up. So
I know how that is. I'm single right now. I'm almost 30. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, well,
dang it, Tyler. You were I don't want to post. Screw it. I'm going to post it real quick. He wore a sweatshirt that said this yesterday.
That's a great sweatshirt.
But then when he had a little tree wrapped up in a nice log and was smoking and whatnot.
For the sake of transparency, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to Colorado in like June. And I made it a point to tell my carload, hey, we have to stop somewhere because I am doing this. So, like, yeah, dude, I mean.
But he's Cruella de Vil smoking. I roasted him.
Can you explain to me what Cruella de Vil smoking is? Because I'm about to use that. That's the funny.
Like, he had it like this.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Tyler!
I roasted him for
no.
Tyler.
I love it. That's my boy.
I don't look forward to that, Chris.
he's not going to be able to look forward. It's going to be like there's like a hazy smoke on the road. All of the fog rolling in here. We're going to have to pull over, guys. Something bad's happening. The car is on fire. No, no smoking and driving for real. I don't do that. That's a bad. I've had so many friends get in trouble and like wreck and that. Nah, man, I don't smoke and drive. Screw that. I will say though, I have been with people who like don't smoke because they just don't, and I'll get smacked before I leave, and I'm like in the car and I'm like, wow, everything looks way cooler. Like I'm glad I'm not driving. Alan walked away because of the smell. Yeah, dude, you know what I've learned? People that don't smoke smells like cat piss.
Dude, Alan got
Smells
right
like
up.
cat piss.
It smells like cat. Dude,
Yeah.
We went. This has turned into a whole nother conversation.
No, I'm serious. Like when you don't smoke, that's what it smells like. It smells like cat piss.
Okay, so we went on a family vacation when I was 16, and my mom and dad knew that I was already partaking in trees, and so we're riding the ride test track down in
Oh man.
Epcot.
Every bad
Disney Epcot. My grandfather is sitting right behind me. My dad is in front of me. My grandma's sitting next to me, and we drive through this area, and they do a poof of skunk smell, like a skunk. And you see my dad and I go like that. Oh no, I was in front of my dad. My dad was behind me, and then my grandfather was behind my dad. That's how it was, because my dad laughed about it. We got off. So him and I both deep breath inhale. I hear him. He sees me. My grandpa goes, "This shit stinks."
Oh man. All right. Oh
one
man.
of the stories. One of my favorite things.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried to hide smoking from my grandma when she was like, sick, because I didn't want to like, make her. And the first night I tried to smoke in my house, I screwed up. She went to my mom and was like, "It smells like skunk. I think there's a skunk outside. Keep the dog inside. You gotta be careful." Here I am, just like,
my bad.
No, it's all right. So Ruby, I have a question for you actually.
Okay.
Earlier we talked about like buildings and stuff, right? Like all these buildings and stuff.
Right.
What is like, you've had a long career, dude. You've been doing this a long time. What building to you stands out in like St. Louis? Like not like wrestling at the Chase. That's too easy. Like what's a building to you that like stands out? Like that's like, oh, for independent wrestlers, like this is like the building. Like is there one for you that's like that?
Well, I mean,
it can be any building too. It doesn't have to be like in the city of St. Louis. Just like our area, basically.
Wow. I mean, I'm always. I mean, as far as like building, I mean, to have a wrestling show at a building, I don't know. I mean, if there, because I'm always, like I said, I'm always up to a stadium, but we've already seen, WWE come into the Dome at America Center.
Sure.
Something that's different, But I mean that's to me that's going to be hard to kind of point out, because there are several buildings here now. Like certain ballrooms that have had matches.
Yeah.
Like I never got to a show when the NWL was around. But the Casa Loma Ballroom seems to have like an awesome venue. I mean, I like these, like the thing that gets this nostalgia for me that would be great for a wrestling show is like either ballrooms or something that's got like history. Like buildings that have been around for a long time. I mean, I don't know.
IW rented a venue like 2 months ago in Highland, and it's got this like the way the ceilings were. I posted a picture. I was like doing a front flip off the top rope. They've got like this yellow lighting, and when I was standing inside of the building, it's got like almost like this yellow tint to it. It's like looking through a filter of a camera almost. And I out loud was like, something about this just reminds me of like the Dallas Sportatorium from like back in the day. Like this is a really cool venue. Like, and I'm hoping, I'm gonna be honest, I'm hoping that IEW can get some people there, because like the first show wasn't bad, but it's their first show there. It's a brand new market. Like it's hard to like, you got to let people know, and it's like there's a lot of ground to cover there. Like, so it's like I hope they eventually over time that building fills. Because to be honest, dude, I think the visual of that building with like a packed house, I think it will look, I'm gonna say like classic. Like it's gonna look classic. Like it's gonna have this feel to it that's unlike any other building in St. Louis. And I'm not saying that just because I work at IEW. When I walked in the venue, I was instantly like, wow, I'm kind of mad CHWA didn't know about this place first. Like I 100%. If I knew this place was like this, looked like this, I would have rented this place. This is great. Like, and so I told Alan, like, keep that building. Like, so that's my pick right now. Like, if that place can, like, if you can get some people in there and do some numbers in that building, dude, that place it's fantastic looking. It is big. It's nice
it's an old ballroom looking area.
Yeah, it's like the way it's set up is like the lights are like in the ceiling. Like I'll find a picture of it.
But if there was any though, if there was like any for me personally, if there was any venue that I could get into to do a show, the way that it was done back in the time where I remember, because when I started promoting in the area back around, oh yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
See what I mean?
Like
imagine like a couple hundred people in the background there. It'd have a smoky background because people would be hitting vapes or smoking cigarettes in the back. It would literally look like an old venue from like the Dallas Sportatorium. I think it was like before the first little remodel they did. Maybe it was after the remodel I'm thinking of. But like, yeah, it's such a good venue, dude. It looks so good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good, man. No, but my own personal favorite, and I was trying to promote in the area back in the time, and I was trying to get in so bad, but it just the partner I had at the time was like, oh, I can't get along with this guy that's from there, and and I'm like,
know how that goes.
Yeah, I guess it kind of blows too, and so that's where my money went to things that we couldn't do. So
I get it.
Yeah, it's a joy spending money to things you can't do. But what I wanted to do so bad, what I wanted to do so bad is get back into the Evansville Coliseum. Ooh. Because of the history it's held with.
That's a great.
With Mid-South, and CWA and Lance Russell, and because all the guys have been through there.
A lot of great shows in there, man. A lot of great shows.
A lot of great shows, a lot of history, and just the way that if you just like turn on the center lights to where the ring was over, that to me that's all I need, because that is nostalgia right there. Yeah. Have all the lights out, of course. You don't have the like house lights on or anything else of that nature. Just do the old school, just over the freaking center.
I love that. That's one of our old buildings had that set up because I like the same. I'm like young, like in age, but I like the look of old school wrestling a lot because it puts so much presentation on like the wrestling. Like, yeah. So I definitely agree. An overhead, like some kind of overhead, almost spotlight kind of deal where
kind of like the house square, like it was like an old scoreboard or something.
Yes, where like the crowd is like darkened, but you could still like if you're in the building, you can see perfectly fine. Like it's not like it's pitch black in there,
right?
But on camera, it's like nice and dark. And yeah, dude, I love that. I think a lot of buildings don't have that capability for indie wrestling, but man, to me, that is a very old kind of like territory feel, like a territory wrestling, like
exactly.
Yeah, man, yeah, it's a beautiful look. Great, that's a great pick, Ruby. Dude, yeah, that's smash. That was a home run of a pick there, my opinion.
So Alan puts up here because I'm gonna chime in for Quincy area. Alan, if Quincy gets another show, like Oakley and Livingston is fine, it's fine for what it is. But for me as a local and hearing stories and stuff, and it's also because I'm from the school, so I would like to see professional wrestling make its way back into Quincy Notre Dame's pit, the high school pit, to do shows because I heard stories from one of my teachers about Andre the Giant being there. Sergeant Slaughter came in and did matches. Ric Flair was there a couple times, like all kinds of stuff where they were coming through. And then we got photos of it. I have photos from my teacher of them events in Notre Dame. And I would love to see wrestling come back to the high school that I grew up in and heard so many stories about something that I loved so much. So that would be that, or QU Stadium. That was another one that we at IEW attempted to do one, but certain things were out of our hand with it. But those two venues.
Yeah, no, no. And like I said, let me pull this one up here.
I was getting ready
Well,
to.
well, yeah. Yeah, the Missouri Athletic Club. That's another one. That's a very. I mean, it's a very close second to the Evansville Coliseum. I mean, because that's the field that has Missouri Athletic Club. I know Exodus will love tremendously, and how that is set up downtown in St. Louis.
That's
That
you're talking about where MMWA is currently at, right?
no, this is a different. This is right.
Is that the one that's
Gosh,
like a
it's right
couple?
off of Washington.
Yeah. Okay. No, I know. Okay, now I know what building you're talking about.
Yeah.
Honestly, Broadway and Missouri both being called athletic clubs sometimes like twists my brain around for a second.
You don't know. You're good, man.
But yeah,
No,
man,
yeah.
great choice. That's another really good, like the way that one it like visually looks is so good for wrestling.
Dude,
There
we got people like when we were first there. I jerked the very first show there with the kickoff of the wrestling at the Chase, where I worked Waco. All right, we've got guys in suits smoking cigars, ordering high value champagne bottles. This was like the mystique of the old Coruscant ballroom for the Chase brought to the club.
Yeah, man.
I mean, a lot of class and people were just like dressed to the gills to watch us wrestle, and they were throwing bets down as like who would win. And we've got
That's such
guys
a
throwing
cool
$100
feeling.
bills to others who had lost. And that's in the first match, and this was me, and I'm like, this is totally insane. I
Dude,
mean,
I'll tell you what, there's not many places like that, like left. Like there's
no, there's
one place
not.
I can think of off my head that I've ever experienced something like that. It was in Chicago. Like if you go to Chicago in certain companies and you have like a just hard match, like a good like and it doesn't even have to necessarily be a work rate match, but in Chicago they really are a fan of like work rate matches. You have a matchup there, like they'll literally throw money at you. Like in the ring, they will literally toss 20s, fives, tens. Like one time Tommy Davis went up there, I think it was Tommy, went up there and came home like $150 richer just because the crowd was just throwing money at him.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember he actually posted that on his social media.
yeah, it was like in his knee pads. Like it was in his knee pads. Like
Stuff, yeah, his stuff in his
yeah, like
thing.
it was like one of his first or second matches or something like that. And shit, he'd been there maybe a couple matches. It was like early on, like in his career, like, and he just had a couple matches in Chicago, and they were throwing money at him. Like, and the only other thing I can think, like her bringing up betting on matches, dude. My grandpa.
Eagles, yeah.
He would legitimately have people come over here to the house in the like late 90s, and they would do this thing where they'd all sit at the table and throw out money on the matches, and the winner would take, it was almost like poker. Like they would bet, and then the winner, like you would just bet money on each match, and then whoever won that match would take the money, and then you just keep going. Like it might, dude. There were times my grandpa would, oh man, he'd make so much money on that, dude.
Me and my buddies used to do it. We had a bowl, a fish bowl, on like an old aquarium
Yeah.
that our buddy didn't use anymore. So every time it said PLE betting, and we would, or pay per view betting actually is what
Yeah,
it was. But like
Yeah.
we would throw in ones and fives and stuff, and then whoever won the match would take, like, let's say you picked John Cena, I picked John Cena. We would split it, kind of thing. But still, like that's how we
CHWA
did it.
used to have a title. We would do this thing where like we'd have certain people who really like would get into wrestling, and we'd watch the pay-per-views together. So we made this it was made out of like sheet metal and stuff. We made it ourselves. It was when we were still in the backyard, but like we made this belt, and it was called the prediction title. It eventually morphed into like the dark match title. We had this title for years, and I think it still exists technically, where we would just like somebody would win like some kind of stupid match. Like you'd get pinned by a Santa Claus hat. Being stupid with like the guys before a show, the Santa Claus hat is now the dark match champion, and this would go from person to person to like inanimate objects. Like at one point, like my cat was the dark match champion because Lucas put her on my chest as I was sleeping and literally filmed it 1, 2, 3 as I was the dark match champion. Now my cat, for like months, was acknowledged as the dark match. It was so stupid. It was one of the best things. Like we haven't done it in a long time, but we were even still doing it when we were in that red building a couple of years ago. Like one of the guys who like helped out at the building that like owned the other half of the building pinned one of our guys in like the locker room being goofy and was the dark match champion. It was hilarious.
God dang.
Yeah, it's just man, Sadie's pick, by the way, of the Berwyn Eagles Club is fire because I watched Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kyle O'Reilly in that building, and I watch it on YouTube all the time, and it still gives me goosebumps, dude. Like that crowd is lit there.
Sure, man. Yeah, going back to the venue though, with the throwing money at the window,
Yeah.
what have not, or just at you, bro. Bro, I'd be like Ozzie Smith trying to die for a wadded up $50 bill. I don't care. You know,
I mean, forget about the match even going on. Money. No wonder you're always green.
I have thrown myself in some pretty reckless situations for money, so I agree.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It does make sense. This green gear just keeps making more and more sense. You know, and we were talking about trees earlier, and earlier Ruby said something about hallucinating, I'm pretty sure. Like, are we seeing a theme here, chat? Are we seeing a theme? I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm not gonna troll Ruby here. I'm not gonna make this man uncomfortable on his own show. How dare I?
I don't know if you can.
I was gonna say, dude, you're his co-host, man. You gotta be messing with this guy all the time.
No, I did have to take a CBD gummy, which, by the way, there is a little bit of a little THC mixture. I forgot what it is. I gotta read the label, but
a little THC didn't hurt nobody.
It took the edge off my ache, but then I ended up kind of dozing off, and then when I woke up, I was feeling a little bit different in my head for about a few minutes.
Yeah, you took the good old power nap.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Those are some of the best naps, but when they're unexpected, they can make you late to stuff. Whew, not good. Not good.
I'm like, I'm not going to work today.
I've been there. There's a whole song about that. About you were supposed to do something.
Oh yeah,
I think that was alright. I still can't believe that's actually happened to me once now. So many years, and it was it happened like not even a year and a half ago.
Dude,
it was the business old thing.
It was old.
That
actually
terrible. Makes sense. It
was terrible, bro. Never.
Speaking of theme songs that match, Cordell Kane comes out to party like a rock star, and I'm just saying, since I was a kid, I wanted somebody to enter to that theme song because I thought it was perfect for a wrestler, and he's doing it. So when I saw him do it the first time, I was behind the curtain screaming and jumping up and down. He popped me using that.
Nice.
So.
Oh yeah, Shop Boys. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Wow, dude, Rick Ruby, the man. All right. That was
Don't
awesome.
ever play Wheel of Fortune or something with this guy because he's more knowledgeable about.
Dude, I bet you.
Dude, this is more skill than picking a letter, son. All right. I mean, this is.
Yeah.
I mean,
this show is awesome.
People don't know. Not much people know that I actually was in the DJ game for about 9 months before I started my wrestling venture.
And you're still in the DJ game
throughout that. And I
he
still
just did a DJ today actually.
Your music variety is probably like really vast and deep. Then I imagine like your taste and like maybe not your taste, but your knowledge. I imagine
our road trip music trips are fun, actually, man.
I believe that. I believe that.
No, I mean, I can listen to a lot of things. You know, it really depends on the mood, on what I like, and I do have some favorites, but like I said, I'm more old school because, like I said, some of the newer artists are a good number of newer. If you play me top 40, if top 40 had to be in the car I rode, I would look for a different ride. Yeah. Because I just couldn't handle it.
My problem with a lot of modern stuff is it's too produced. I like stuff to be produced because it sounds good. But there does come a point where it's like, you could have like left some production out on this and just let the instruments ring longer, or like let them just sound better as a human being. It's just I agree with you, man. There's some artists that are out here killing it still, but like you gotta listen to people that aren't signed to major stuff. That's where you find like the real kind of gritty.
Yeah.
Even like in any genre, like grit is not just rock. Like grit in anything. Like Man, I can't tell you how many underground like different artists I listen to now. It makes me upset sometimes. I try to figure out the lyrics to a song, and they don't exist on the internet anywhere.
That's funny.
Alan is confirming that don't play Wheel of Fortune with Ruby.
Okay, so Alan, myself, Ruby, we play a lot of video games together on a consistent basis
You've played
on
Wheel of
PlayStation.
Fortune on the
I will
X.
whip your ass
And,
with Tim Uno,
Ruby convinced us to download Wheel of Fortune. And I played one game, and I said, Ruby, I'm done. I'm deleting this. Thank you for whipping my ass.
Wheel of Fortune's not easy. I used to play it with an ex of mine, and we would have friends come over, and I would sit there and be like, dude, I have this really painful awareness that all I know about is wrestling at this point.
It's not just that for me. I'm dyslexic.
Oh, man, you should not play Wheel of
I'm
Fortune.
putting stuff together. Like, I would be that guy that'd be like, explicit word.
Dude,
saying it wrong. I would think it's the explicit word.
That'd be like being colorblind and trying to be like a Rubik's Cube professional.
Dude, it was awful. But I whipped them all in Monopoly once, so there's that.
Monopoly is a game that I
if you guys want a good laugh, have you guys seen the reel with Andy Richter guessing Wheel of Fortune puzzles?
Yes.
Yes.
I think you sent it to me.
That is a 10 out of 10 video, without a question. Man.
All right.
A lady tonight.
I'm going to go ahead and do it because I need to use the restroom. But and we're going almost 3 hours now with this.
Have we really been going on for 3 hours?
Yes, we have.
Yeah,
dude, I've been having such a ball. I didn't even know this had been. I thought we were like at an hour.
No, dude, we're doing fine.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Is it like midnight almost?
Yeah.
Yes.
like 8 minutes. What the fuck? All right, we got to do this more often, fellas. Let's
real
do this
quick.
on like Tuesdays, like on a private video caller. This is great.
So, if you got a PlayStation?
No, I got
a real system then. Never mind. You're advanced.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't.
Hail
keep
the
up.
PC gamer.
I can't keep up, man. I got to upgrade. They're telling me Windows 10 in October's done.
Okay, so you get a PS5. You get a PS5. Get in my DM, and we can start doing some videos together, having some fun, talk shit, talk wrestling.
I hear that. I hear that
videos.
nasty Alistair Crow plays PS5. I don't know if I want anything to do with that.
He plays with us. Actually, he plays with us.
Oh, come on! Man.
Tell the audience where they can find Chris Exodus and any upcoming events, anything big on the calendar for you, sir.
All right, so you can find me on Facebook at Chris Exodus, on Instagram, and on Instagram it's at TrueExodus7. I don't really use Twitter, so I'm not going to really plug my Twitter because I genuinely really don't use it. That platform scares me. But you can also check out my YouTube at TrueExodus7. I post a bunch of wrestling matches. I do video game stuff. I stream on Twitch at TrueExodus7. As far as events go, I got a couple of really cool events coming up. I will be defending this here beautiful Jackson County Championship at No Fold Pro Wrestling. I actually have the dates right here too, because I am a prepared son of a gun. But no, on May 24th, I'm defending this championship against Mikey McNeely. He has not been in St. Louis in a little while. He has been doing a lot with Memphis wrestling, though. And he's a guy that when I first wanted to start watching wrestling through St. Louis, he's one of the guys I watched. So another full circle moment for me, hoping to come out on the other side 15 pounds heavier, because looks might be deceiving. This thing is actually legitimately like 15 pounds. It's so heavy.
I actually really like that belt.
Dude, it's like they've got like thick plates on. They did not spare an expense on this thing. This thing's a very expensive piece of hardware. Walking through an airport with it kind of sucks, though. But speaking of the airports and whatnot, that leads me to OVW. Sadie, Mikey, exclamation point. That's, I can't wait. I'm super excited. Dude's phenomenal. I got a lot of stuff coming up with OVW. You can catch me on there most Thursdays. I'm not going to be on there this Thursday, cause I've got some stuff going on. SB's got some stuff going on. We go down there together a lot, as like a package normally. So that's kind of cool. So we've got that coming up. I'm trying right now, not like campaigning or like making any noise at place necessarily, but my goal, I'll just say it here on this to keep me accountable. I hope to eventually be on an OVW pay-per-view. That's kind of become my next goal. Like it was the first goal was just have a match on
Hell
TV.
yeah.
And yeah, so like have a pay-per-view match on real pay-per-view sounds like a really cool goal. And because of SB and Lightfoot, or SB, yeah, well, and Lightfoot too, but SB, Lightfoot, and Sadie, this year, my wrestling goals, I've already checked all the list off. So a lot of this year is traveling. I've got Rocky Mountain Pro. There's a 2-day TV taping that I'll be a part of on. It's sometime in June. I don't remember the exact date because it is, like I said, it's a 2-day. I think it's the 6th and the 7th because it falls on an IEW show, so I can't be at IEW because I'm going to be doing that. I think it's the 6th and 7th.
7th.
Yeah, so the 7th. So yeah,
us. So then the 6th would be the other one, right?
6th. So yeah, the 6th and 7th. Correct. Yeah. So the 6th and 7th, I'll be doing that. I made my debut at World League Wrestling a while back, and I'm still doing stuff with them. But right now, Dysfunction's kind of on a hiatus because Kyle Roberts is injured. Jack Parker Jr.'s got some stuff that he had going on. I think he might have also been dealing with an injury. So Dysfunction there, we're kind of just regrouping, trying to figure things out. But yeah, man, I'm all over the Midwest. I'm probably leaving stuff out. I've got Dynamo. I don't have the belt with me, actually. I wanted to have both titles because I'm actually Exodus 2 belts right now. I'm one half of the Dynamo Pro Tag Champions. And because Cinco de Mayo just happened, unfortunately, the Dynamo Cinco show didn't get to happen because of the rain, but that was actually El Ride and I's 1 year as the reigning defending Dynamo Tag Champion. So I've got, at most Dynamo shows you're going to be able to catch me at. I won't be able to be at their 17th show, unfortunately, because I have an OVW commitment that date. But I mean, dude, like I'm there all the time. So you can catch me pretty much anywhere around the Midwest, and always over on YouTube because I love and TikTok. I post on TikTok a lot at True Exodus 7. I'm always doing travel vlogs for TikTok. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's not real in depth. I don't talk a whole lot on there. I just film kind of where I'm going, what I'm doing. But if you're into that, check out my TikTok and Instagram, and make sure you follow these gentlemen on these gentlemen on their socials too, because they run a great show, and I'm very thankful to both of you guys for having me on tonight and letting me just blather on for 3 hours. I can't believe you guys allowed that.
We've had longer.
Yeah, dude.
Don't challenge me. Don't challenge me, Rick Ruby. Don't challenge me, because I am a son of a bitch, and I will talk for 5 or 6.
I was one of the guys that stayed up and listened to Triple H at 4 a.m., finishing his speech and stuff. I've talked to Herb Simmons until like 2, 3 in the morning. Ruby and I have Ruby's legitimately fallen asleep on me playing video games as we're talking about wrestling.
Yep, I have absolutely made Dilly fall asleep, and Sadie. There was one time Sadie, I was talking to him about wrestling for so long, the sun was coming up, and I didn't realize he had been snoring for like 10 or 15 minutes. He was snoring. Dude, I was still talking to him, though. I was letting his subconscious know about this idea I had.
Well, Ruby, take us home, dude. This has been a great show. Look at these. These guys are all...
Well, Lucas even said, don't challenge me, Ruby, because I accept challenges, and I'm a motherfucker. That's how we're into this. I said the fuck word like 5 times. I'm saying it a 6th. Fuck. Let's go.
No, I actually want to thank everybody who's tuned in here tonight, because we've had a strong stream of live listeners, live watchers tonight. Of course, probably some just live listening, which is fine by us too, as long as you tuned in. And like I said, our QR code in the top left-hand corner of the screen. If you want to come back and watch, that's everywhere that we're at. Of course, the handles we put on here, that's our X handles, but me, that's me everywhere. Lion Time STL. I don't think I've ever done a TikTok yet, but
I am Zach Zmiz Burton everywhere on social media, and you find me on We Talk Wrestling, TikTok. I think I don't know what I'm on TikTok now.
I'm in We Talk Wrestling. That's a pretty good chat to be in.
I'm the Gym City Zmiz, or is Gym City Zach Zmiz on TikTok actually.
I follow that guy on TikTok.
I post a lot of like happy-go-lucky or me in the woods hiking or video stuff.
And next week here, we're gonna have another. We're gonna have another good.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be up next week just as late with you, my friend. And I can't wait. I'm stoked. Anytime that I get to sit in the presence of Herb Simmons, and I don't care. There's some people out there like, oh, you're just boot kicking, whatever. Kiss mine if that's how you feel about it. I understand greatness. I understand respect. I understand that this man's done more than I did, and I want to do that. As you know,
I swear, me and Herb got to sit down and have like a cup of coffee and just talk sometime. And we've never actually got to we've met and we've met before, but we've never really got to have a super thorough conversation. I think him and I could talk a lot of good wrestling together.
Oh, dude,
genuinely.
Things are gonna happen. I promise.
I'll definitely check that episode out. You said that's next Sunday, right? You guys are doing that?
Yep, next Sunday.
Next Sunday he will be on live.
I'll definitely pop into the chat. Zmiz, text me and remind me.
We'll do. I will be up your butt about it. But please. Alan, start getting it right if you're going to do it. It's Zmiz's Canceled Gaming on YouTube.
It's Alan, brother. It's Alan.
Zmiz's Canceled Gaming.
He gets it half right with all the best intent.
Where in the world. It's my wrestling brothers meeting my real life brothers, and it's a whole cluster of just crazy fun.
I come back and I watched last Friday's too when I was on. I got in late because of work. Which, by the way, I'm not going to work Fridays and Saturdays for a good while now. So thank God. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that starts this week. So no, I mean if you could audio clip our entire conversation on off of YouTube, that could be put as like a podcast, but you definitely would have to put like an explicit rating.
It's not a. I'm just being honest. It's very inappropriate because it's conflicting. The great thing about my life, and this is how my life's always been,
a lot of canceled stuff gets brought.
And I think this is why I like professional wrestling so much. Professional wrestling has helped me with society and how to be in society because all ethnicities, all cultures, all demographics, and now it's even getting better to where it's even more so being shown. The LGBT wrestlers that are coming out and wrestling in that style, and then the old school guys, the black guys, anyone, whatever you want to say, and it's all being stirred up, and I think that's why I've always gathered to that. All of my friend groups have been that kind of stuff, like
the melting pot.
And this is what it is. It's a melting pot of people's different viewpoints, different ideas. Because I don't care politically. I think you all are fighting over idiots that don't care about you. But I understand at the same time. So it's just this huge thing, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's just us shit talking each other, and it's fun. We get heated though. Sometimes it gets really. Because you're competing.
It's over about the way we drive and how you hit me. No, it's on my screen.
All right, you get
video clipped it.
Hit me up. We'll get some scheduled out. I would say yes to that.
Man, that'd be a good one. I'll watch that one too.
Yeah,
wrestling is the medicine we all need.
Wrestling is the medicine, Herb. You are damn straight, sir.
To close on a good one, I will say my therapist actually told me. I was explaining to her the other day about just how much I love wrestling and just why I love it. And she directly told me that wrestling is one of the things that she has jotted down in my log over the last year that is a super, super positive thing for me. Not just for helping me regulate my emotions and whatnot, but also helping kind of tear down this poor self-image of myself that I've had for all these years where I think I'm a terrible person. Well, all these people around me all the time are telling me the exact opposite thing. My friends, you guys, everybody around me in wrestling, we're always uplifting each other. I just got to quit being mean to myself and believe it. And I think that's something about wrestling that you don't really get in a lot of other places, is a lot of people trying really hard to just be there for you. I've been on a lot of sports teams, and it's not always like that. It's normally a lot of guys are kind of just competing because we all want to be the best. But in wrestling, there's still that competitive edge, but it's a lot more of us. Hey brother, I love you. It's good to see you. Let's have some fun. Let's make some money. It's great. So yeah, dude, it's a good, safe place for a lot of people, especially people like me. So
let's keep it that way.
Yes,
Yeah,
please,
absolutely.
please.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, like I said, I can't think of anything else better to end on with that. And I definitely want to thank you, Chris, for coming on. I
Thank
definitely,
you guys, dude. This has been. Thank you for just letting me come on here and talk about wrestling. It's my favorite thing on the planet, and I appreciate you
It's
guys taking the
it's
time to have me.
also nice that, like I said, we had things fall through where we didn't get really questions really developed, but knowing you so well and knowing your story already and knowing the adversity that you have gone through in this wrestling,
Ah,
because it is, bro. It's an adversity. You had to find your guys in the the organizations to really lift up, and you're a testament to what
they
wrestling
are.
is. And I'm
They
going to
are
say
too.
this. I'm not saying that. Not saying that
I
at
know.
all.
I know. Yeah, I'm really. Oh, I'm thankful for them though, because it's like I found them, they found me. It's a very. I love those guys, dude. And I love wrestling.
But you are. I guess I want to tell you guys, like, once again, Triple H's speech. When I listened to it, I legitimately had an ego death during his Hall of Fame speech. Like, I can't wait. My therapist and I talked about it a little bit. Like, part of me died that night in a sense. And the way I saw it, and the idea and the whole thing with Cody and all that stuff, where Cody came back and he says, I want to be one of the last cowboys, all that kind of stuff, the journeyman. I don't think that idea is out still. There's a lot of journeymen still out there.
No, there's a lot of us left, and I'm telling you, dude, there's a lot of people that come from a really, really bad environment that wanna be more than what we are, and we want to be able to see the world, and we don't want to join the military, and we don't want to get a normal job, and we want to travel, and we want to do this, and
Yep.
that will be a thing forever. It's in bands, it's in music. There's still people traveling all over the country to just play music, and you wouldn't think that because Spotify and like SoundCloud and all that exists, but it's there, dude. It's there.
Yep.
So
Thank you again, Exodus.
thank you guys. I love you guys a lot.
man. Yeah, and like I said, we greatly appreciate you, and like you said, great, fantastic conversation tonight. I didn't care what else we brought up. This is the only main thing I really cared about. So
100%. This is
Thank you
awesome.
So
guys
I'm
for having
happy, and I'm really happy with all of our viewers too, participating tonight. All of your comments, even your questions and everything else. You guys are fantastic. Even staying on at this point of the evening, on the live broadcast as of now, as officially we've gone into a third hour, but we're going to be ending it. So, I
that
mean,
3 hour mark, baby.
That one
yeah,
hits. That one hits right there, Mr. Herb. That one hits. I appreciate that. We're grateful.
yeah.
Thank
So
you, Herb.
once again, guys,
Thank you.
as we sign off, don't forget the next week we will have Herb Simmons on here as our guest, and of course, all leading up to the big fan fest. That's my next big thing. That's Z's next big thing.
Can't wait.
And trust me, I've submitted that final banner. I can't wait for this banner to show. Okay, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's the best banner we've had.
I'm really
It's
excited.
going to be huge. No, I'm just joking.
It's going to be huge.
Bigly.
But we thank you guys for coming on here tonight, and we are going to get out of here. Make sure you guys have a great week coming up. Like I said, it's the weekends. I mean, just get through this week, and we'll come right back. Once again, thanks to the Dragonfly, Chris Exodus, and for the Jensen Mountain Miz, saying yes, it's always this long. I am wrong. I should have not said that.
We love you guys. Thank you all. Like, subscribe, send it all to your friends. Chris Exodus had a great show tonight. Enjoy. Be love.
Oh,
Have fun.
I'm gonna go bury my face. Good night, everybody.
Oh, that was great.
What a great show, dude. That was awesome. Oh,
Jeez.
I can't
Oh.
believe that was 3 hours. I'm so sorry that went so long. I feel so bad.
We're not.
Okay,
Hey,
well,
we're
good. As
not.
long as you guys aren't upset, dude, then I'm not upset. Thank goodness.
It's all good.
I thought I made you guys stay up way